September, starting at 6 at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Enjoy $5 talls, prizes, and Chiefs gear. For a list of locations, go to 965thefan.com. This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Royals baseball. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, here we go on a Thursday. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Reminder coming up after the show today. I'll just tell you right now, 2 o'clock, we will be downstairs in the parking lot, 7000 Squibb Road, right here, 96.5. Got some more T-shirts, another 100 T-shirts to give away. And I actually think it's pretty fitting for what the shirts are. The shirts are playoff-themed. We didn't come this far just to come this far. And, boy, I would say that is fitting for today because we know the Royals face elimination if they do not come out with a win this evening and send this series to the Bronx. So, I mean, that shirt, I hope
seems appropriate.
It does it not? So we'll be out there, one shirt per person in your car, max of 2 people. We'll see you guys after the show downstairs.
You're saying that like you're not going to enforce that rule.
I was told I have to say that part.
Oh, okay. But it doesn't sound like you mean it.
You, Drew, and I are going to be handing out the shirts. So I'm just saying, like, if we're the ones handing it out and someone has a third person in the car, you'll get a third shirt possibly. Just saying. It's not coming out of my paycheck,
They're not paying you less if you hand out
the
one extra
shirts are thanks
shirt?
to our friends at DM Injury Law. That's why we have these shirts, so we appreciate their help making this happen.
Okay.
You're rocking a nice, crisp powder blue if you're watching the video stream.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen you in a Royals jersey.
I don't think I own a Royals jersey until this one.
This one
I don't own a Chiefs jersey either. I just wear like shirts.
Now it's number 7, so I'm like, oh, nice Bobby Witt Jr. jersey. But then the back does not say Bobby Witt Jr.
The back says
TBAPSB. The boys are playing some ball.
Correct. Last night, maybe not as much, but I'm an optimist. And I refuse to come in, not just because of that. I kind of refuse to come in today and listen to any person who's going to come in here and be like, they stink. They can't win this series. The Yankees are better. They have placed 2 very closely contested games, and unfortunately, they were not the victor in either of those games. They could have won on Saturday. They could have won last night. They lost 2 really close games where the Yankees barely but got the better of them. And as a result of that, they are facing elimination tonight. And we'll have to have some of those guys perform in a way that they haven't so far in the early part of the season. But I'm not down on the Royals. It's been a really, really good series so far. And I told you from the beginning, felt like this series was going 5 games. I still feel like this series is going 5 games. What I'll predict on Saturday, we'll see.
Right.
But I still think the Royals are winning tonight. I still think this series continues after tonight. And the Royals, for all the things they have done great this season, one of them is fight back. They've done great at fighting back. And so I assume they're going to fight back tonight.
They've had 2 long 6-7 game losing streaks in the last month or so. Multiple times people thought the season was over. They were able to bounce back. And so, this is a group that has had moments where it seemed like it was all going to come crashing down. This, of course, is their biggest test. They're facing their season would be over with a loss. Look, how do we get here? Let's start there, and then we can talk about how do they potentially keep this season going. Because I do agree with you that I think it is foolish to sit here and say, oh, it's just done and there's just no chance. I mean, that they look overmatched. No, they don't. No, they don't. But here's how they have gotten here, unfortunately.
2 big things.
It is, number one, and these guys know it. We were in the clubhouse. We talked to them after the game. We'll hear some audio. Bobby Witt Jr., Vinnie Pasquantino, and Salvador Perez are 4 for 37 in this series with 13 strikeouts, a couple walks thrown in. That's the biggest problem. If we're just going to simplify, I know it's not always that simple, but that is how you get eliminated against a really good New York Yankees team. That has to change tonight. It just has to.
Yeah.
If this team is going to advance and force it back to the Bronx and put all the pressure right back on the Yankees, it can shift just like that. Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny, Salvi, doesn't even have to be all 3 of them. One of those guys at minimum have got to come through tonight. We talked all year about this offense and starting pitching, but about this offense, and it was always clear. It's why it was so devastating when Vinnie went down with the injury, because, like, oh, man, where else are you getting production? And look, we'll give credit to some other guys down in the order, right, that have stepped up in this series. You know, once again, Yuli Gurriel is getting on base. Michael Massey's been incredible this postseason. Those guys have stepped up, but ultimately, the group of three of Vinnie, Bobby, and Salvi have got to come through tonight. It really, if we can just sum it up, that has to happen.
I agree. I mean, there's no argument for it. They've had a couple of close hits. Hell, if Vinny's liner, which was close to being a single, really nice play by the Yankees defender, kudos to him for making it, that ball goes through, then, well, Salvi has the game-tying hit the next batter. Bobby got on base. Salvi got on base. Vinny put a ball in play that sure looked like it was going to get him on base. So maybe that late inning where they're starting to put the ball in play can make them, or can start the beginning of that. And you know that. That's one of the issues. The other one is walks. So many walks. Now, I'll say that does not deserve no context, which we can get to in just a minute. But yeah, you cannot walk as many hitters as you have. You can't, on average, walk 7 batters a game and then expect that to go well in the end result of the scorecard. They've honestly done a pretty good job of run mitigation based on the number of base runners, based on the number of walks. The Royals have squeezed themselves out of a lot of jams. It's why they haven't been swept, but it's also why they were in the last game and the game before, where the Yankees had better offense, but the Royals did a better job of eliminating it. I've told you on this show, and I think you've stated it before, I'm never going to blame the refs or the umpires truly for a loss.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
This is egregious, and I cannot believe how poorly umpired this series has been in favor of the Yankees. Did I just say that it cost them the game last night? No. Did it have a factor? Hell yes. They had 19. This was according to a online stat forum that tracks these things, not Gamecast. John Boy Media sent out the tweet. They had 19 pitches last night that were in the zone, 2 Yankees hitters in the strike zone by the rule that were called balls. 19 Gold. That's an egregious number. I'm sorry. The Yankees don't get 17,000 free base runners because they can't call the game right. Matter of fact, the guy who was behind the dish last night rated as a bottom 10 balls and strikes umpire in the league this year. Why the hell's he calling a postseason game? I thought that was for the good ones. He sucks. Put someone else in. And so, does it inevitably, will it be the reason they lose this series? No, they got to step up. They got to come through. The pitching has got to be better. Is it annoying as hell that it is clearly being called significantly in favor of the New York Yankees? Yeah, it's kind of ludicrous. Can we get an evenly called game tonight?
I mean, well, sure. I hope that's the case. Unfortunately, he will not be behind home plate. I believe the crew chief is actually behind home plate tonight, whoever that was, or whoever that is. I believe that's the rotation. So you won't have him specifically tonight, as we know. To your point on the stat, just for context, the numbers are from Inside Edge. In the zone, but call the ball, 19 for the Royals pitchers, 8 for the Yankees. Out of the zone, but call the strike, 11 for Royals pitchers, 4 for Yankees pitchers. So the Royals got some of the out of the zone, but called a strike benefit. On the flip side, in the zone, but called a ball, of course, the Yankees got more of a benefit. I hear you. It's worth bringing up.
I think it's a reason why they might be walking 70,000 hitters.
That perhaps would be the walk issue, but you know where I'm at on this kind of stuff. It drives me crazy. It just does. I'm not saying we can't ever talk about bad calls and
pretend like it never has an impact.
Yeah, of course.
It does have an impact.
It does. It does. I just, it just drives me crazy overall, though. Because when I mentioned to you, and I know you're not ignoring it, but, Bobby, Vinny, and Salvi going 4 for 37, your trio in the heart of your lineup, that's a much bigger problem than getting 7 more walk calls or strike calls or whatever. Is it frustrating? Do we know that officiating in every single sport is a major problem more than ever? Some of it is just because we have all these different easily accessible metrics that the public can get and replay and all that. Sure, all that's true. It was noticeable last night. It's hard for me when I see the other. I get more upset on the official win. I think that, let's say in this case, your team played well enough to win and should have won, and you feel like a call stole the game for you. I don't believe that's what happened last night.
No, but
and so that's why it's not the focus. Trust me, you're not alone. I had multiple people send me graphics of heat charts or whatever. Like, trust me, I got the same stuff that you did last night. And I'm not saying that there's not people listening that don't feel exactly how you do. Totally, they do. I just always push back on it because it was not ultimately what cost them the game or games. I'm more pissed still about the replay review in game 2 or game 1. I'm sorry. Game 1, I guess it would have been. In game 1, that to me was more of a actually maybe costing you the game type of thing than them getting the benefit of a couple out of the zone, you getting the benefit of a couple that should have been balls that were in the zone, right?
I just when you go back and look at this, there's no way you can tell me that even if there are flaws in the electronic balls and strike systems, that it's worse than this.
Well, I want that too. I want the automated stuff.
We accept a far too great of a variance of this. The problem is not just the one game. It is now for 3 straight games that 3 out of the 4 games, scorecards puts it in favorability. They talk about the balls and strike accuracy, how many runs it favors the other team. 3 of the 4 highest run favorability games this postseason are for the Yankees. And I'm not saying, look, I don't have to go deep down the conspiracy thing and be like, well, it's because last year's ratings were bad and they need New York versus LA in the final. If they didn't have that, then they'll do anything to get that. I'm not that far down the rabbit hole, right? I'm not saying that Rob Manfred's on the phone with the league telling the umpires to call it in favor of the Yankees. But there's been 3 games in this series. It's been a quarter of a run difference for the Yankees in one scorecard. It's been a half a run difference for the Yankees in the other scorecard. And it's been 3/4 of a run difference in the final one. It's getting worse somehow, even though in the favorability part, it's been that case. And yeah, last night, that ball might have been fair. I don't know because the camera angles stunk. I went back and looked at it.
Yesterday.
I don't know. That ball might very well have been fair. The one that went in favor of Kansas City. I'm not really sure. It's a 50-50 call because they called it foul. Few Royals get lucky. I couldn't tell. But when you it cannot be this bad in a postseason game. Do you not have 7, 8, 9 qualified umps?
I know. I just hate this whole conversation.
I know, man. I know you do.
I just hate it, man.
You know how long we avoid it on the show? I don't bring this up every time. I'm not a ref or ump guy. It's just gotten to the point that now I don't think I can ignore it.
Yeah, I just overall, I'm more about that when, as I said, the Jazz Chisholm replay review, or if everything was going right and your star players were hitting at the level they should, and then you feel like you got something taken away from you. That's when I'm pissed. And that to me has not been happening in this series. It doesn't mean mistakes haven't happened with umps. Of course they have. It's why last year when we were talking about Kadarius Toney and people were upset with me because I was saying that needs to learn how to freaking line up on side, and you and others were telling me, but they don't normally call it. And I said, but what do we agree it was the right call?
It was the right call.
And so that kind of, that's just more we just differ in how we view that, and that's what being a sports fan.
I think I was more on the maybe don't call the Jawan Taylor one, but yeah,
sure, But at some point, it's man, if that also is how it's being called, if for you can say it's not being called that way for the Yankees, that's fair. But if that's how they're calling it for you, I'm always going to be under the belief easier said than done. I'm not a professional baseball player, obviously, but part of me is hey, then maybe you need to adjust. I hate, if the Royals would have won last night, we wouldn't even have brought this up today. And that's where I come at this for a lot of things. I hate bringing it up because it is, to me, loser talk. And this team has had way too good of a season for us to end the year talking about how crappy the umps were to ruin the season. There are a lot of other things that have occurred. Let's get this thing going tonight. And I think in order for them to get going tonight, it's going to take something from Bobby, Salvi, or Vinnie. I feel still pretty good about the pitching. I know the walk stuff, but I really do. It's not like they've been just getting destroyed by Yankees hitters. Stanton's home run off of Chris Bubich, it's not like he laid one down the middle. It was that was a ball. He went back to the same spot. Maybe that was a bad decision, but it was outside the zone, and Stanton crushed the hell out of it. It was it happens. Stanton. We're talking about the New York Yankees. We're talking about the postseason. The cliche, those guys get paid too, kind of thing. They get paid a lot more as well.
Yes.
And so
they can pay triple.
It sucks. Trust me, I'm not happy with the result last night. I'm bummed about it. I'm nervous as hell going to the game tonight. But at the same time, I don't think this season is ending tonight because the umpires are calling strikes balls.
Yeah, the Royals are now 3-2 in the postseason, so they have played some good baseball. And again, the 2 losses are 2 games they easily could have won, not because of the umpires. Just it was a 6-5 game, and it was a 3-2 game last night, in which the Royals went toe for toe with the Yankees, and unfortunately came up with the bad end of a good game result, right? Everybody played a good baseball game. The 2 games that they've lost have been highly competitive, down to the edge, final wire baseball games, and the Yankees made more plays in the final 3 innings than the Royals made plays in the final 3 innings to get the win. The one thing that gives me, there's lots of things that give me hope, but 2 obvious ones. What you said about the middle of the order lineup, I can't imagine that there was maybe 1 or 2 stretches in the entire season where Vinnie, Bobby, and Salvi had this long of a struggle for 5 consecutive games as a unit. Maybe one time this year. And in 5 games, they are 3-2, and they have gotten exactly 1, I would qualify, above average start from a starting pitcher. Luke was fine last night. 5 innings, 2 earned runs is not going to send me to the hills complaining. It qualifies as the same list as the one before with Reagan's, which is, I needed more out of you. If I got more out of you, then the Royals win that game. But I got to think that eventually one of the Royal starters is going to step up, because that goes back to the bounce back ability of this team. That at some points when they have desperately needed a start, someone like Walker tonight has stepped in for this team, pitched 6 strong innings, pitched 7 strong innings, and made something happen for the Royals. I've always thought this series was going 5. I still think this series is going 5, which means I think they're going to win tonight. But they're going to have to pull out all the, it's all on the bag now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, everybody's available tonight. It's do or die time. And so whether that is putting Urseg in the 5th inning because it's a high leverage spot and there's nobody out and there's 2 men on, and it's the 5th inning. We've seen it doesn't have to be nobody. It's not the old school defined, he has to pitch the 9th inning, he has to pitch the 8th inning or whatever. No, it's especially tonight. If there's a tight spot, 5th, 6th, 7th inning, I don't think it'd be stunning to see Urseg pitch much earlier. Don't worry about who's closing the game out in the 9th. He may not have a save opportunity in the 9th inning because the game's out of reach. You got to keep it within striking distance. Hopefully, right? Ideally, you just jump on him early and you're feeling good. But the way the series has gone, it's probably going to be very tight in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. That's the way this whole thing has been going. And the one thing that gives me hope tonight, the biggest thing, even though I've referenced multiple times already the numbers for the big 3 in the middle of the Royals lineup, is that on Saturday against Garrett Cole, I felt like they saw him well. They were aggressive. Remember, the first inning, it was only 4 or 5 pitches, but they were a couple rockets to one to right field, but a couple rockets off him. They saw the ball well, and they were aggressive. I wonder if that'll be the exact same approach. Garrett Cole, of course, will make his own adjustments too. But that's what gives me some hope tonight, is that they saw the ball really well off of Garrett Cole on Saturday.
I just think every game's come down to the wire. They won. The only easy game was the one the Royals won. The other 2 were, like we just talked about, games that needed a run in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning in order to make a difference. And so I assume tonight will be another stressful night at the K. And you and I will be worried about it and the whole thing.
How silent it got at times. Like there were, especially late in the game, there was a couple moments where, you really could have heard a pin drop. For just dead silence, nervous silence. Yeah. At multiple times late in that game when you were waiting to see who was going to come up with a big hit. It got quiet on a couple of those. You could sense and feel how nervous the crowd was. And then there were moments, obviously, where the crowd did erupt. There's some people people are critical at times on social media, so it's a small fraction of people, but on social media, that it wasn't loud enough. I'll just tell you, having been there yesterday, and you were there as well.
Seemed plenty loud.
When they only had 1 hit heading into the 5th, what was there to erupt about? But then once Massey's triple, of course, the place exploded at that point in time, and people thought Vinny had a hit there. The crowd. I don't think anybody should be upset with how the crowd, quote unquote, performed last night. I thought the atmosphere was great when it was
Agreed.
fitting. Right.
We can talk more about it, but yeah, I definitely think it's probably being a little too overcritical. Today we do talk about, because it is an elimination game in the season.
Are you going to remember a song today?
You only get, yeah, I think so. You know what? I'll do a song live.
People are blaming you
because I forgot.
Yesterday in the 11 o'clock hour, I said, you know what? I said I was in a good mood. I said, you know what, Cody? Why don't you pick one song from your catalog and play? You said, all right, sure, 1 o'clock hour. You never played it. You forgot. So people are upset. One song today, 1 o'clock hour.
Okay, let me see if I can. Oh man, I'll do one live. Because I messed up yesterday.
You're singing live?
I'll do a song I haven't done live before. I'll find
You have a new song?
No, I'll do a song live. That's all.
Who do you think needs the song?
The team. It's a team song. I got to choose one of the ones that's more team-based.
Okay.
Although Vinny does not have a hit in the series yet. We're back to Pasquantino live again? Maybe. All right, let me look at it in the break. I'll find a song for today. Later on in the show, we can do one. I will say you have to unload the book. I loved, and maybe I was in the minority, I love that they brought in Brady Singer to try to face Aaron Judge to get one out. Aaron Judge hadn't seen Brady Singer that much. He did have a career average of 400 against him, but I'm sure they had some metric to support that, like, he was bad against two-seam fastballs or four-seam fastballs or whatever the hell the metric was, and Singer got the job done. He struck out Aaron Judge, who's having a horrific series for the New York Yankees so far, and while he hadn't even pitched in 13 days, they asked him to come in to face Aaron Judge with a runner on base late in the game in which it mattered the most, and he got the job done, which means tonight, you need Singer for one out again? Cool.
Sure.
You need Daniel Lynch for one out because there's 2 outs and there's a lefty on the mound. Bring him in. There is no reason to be anywhere near conservative with his bullpen. Matter of fact, if it's the 6th inning and it's bases loaded again like it was yesterday in the 5th, and there are 2 outs and it's Aaron Judge up to plate, bring in Urseg and let him pitch the 6th. And if his pitch count's low enough, let him pitch the 7th. The Royals haven't faced an elimination game in a very long time, and we've seen them bounce back from that in the playoffs, including that series against the Astros and, back in the 14-15 run. Okay, then, I mean, it's kitchen sink time, right? Whatever it takes.
Same thing applies. Even if Michael Wacha has a rough go and it's only the 4th inning, if it's the 4th even, I don't think you should be stunned like you normally would in a random game of 150. If, in fact, they have a shorter leash, you can't let this thing get out of hand. You got to keep it within 1 run. You can't let it all of a sudden become a 3-4 run lead for the Yankees. And I think everything we've seen from Q in this series, there's no reason to believe that's not going to be the case.
No, he's going to the pin.
Tonight's game, I don't know. Like if you were to set an over/under on game length, take the over. I mean, there's going to be.
Can you bet on that?
There's going to be pitching changes more than we've seen in any of the other games. I mean, that applies for the Yankees too because they also want to wrap it up tonight and not have to deal with a game 5. So they will. When there's an off day. They maybe not quite full kitchen sink, but they'll also be extremely aggressive with how they handle their pitchers tonight because they of course, want to wrap this thing up and be done. It's going to be intense. We'll take your calls a little bit later on in the show. 913-586-7965 is the J Southland Tow Service text line. Want to hear from you guys. Just confidence check. We'll do that here in about 10 minutes or so. Confidence level that they can force a game 5. If you want to look, someone was asking like, "Hey, what do you mean we can't be mad?" Nobody's saying you can't be mad about the umps. I'm just telling you, me personally, I don't like blaming referees and umps for team failures. Everybody has the right to their own opinion.
I think Gold's mad at the umps. He's just not saying it's the difference between.
I'm not. You're acting like I'm sitting here saying the umps have been great. Not what I'm saying at all. It's just fundamentally, whether it's the NFL, whether it's baseball, I don't like going that route personally. You may. And that is your right. We'll take your calls. If you want to talk about it, we'll do that in the next segment as well. Last night, though, we were out at the K. Thanks to some of you that came by and said hello. You may have seen these risers if you were at the game in right field. That's basically called the media overflow seating. We were sitting over there. Dusty, Cody, and I were out there with other members of the media. And normally, if you're in the right field section, behind the ADA seating, you can kind of stand, right? If you just go to a normal Royals game, because there was well over capacity crowd last night, over 40,000, so a ton of standing room only. But that area for the playoffs, you're not allowed to stand because there were media risers, so you're blocking the view of the media. I know some of you are going to be like, give me a break.
I'm just telling you know.
So what was funny about that was there was a security guard. What was his name again? Lewis? Shout out to security guard Lewis. That man wasn't messing around. He was not messing around.
Stood on business,
There
man.
were folks standing up just to take a photo. It didn't matter if you were 80 years old or if you had a 5-year-old kid with you. That guy said, "Get off the line. The media is sitting behind here. They got to see." This dude was not messing around. Shout out to Lewis.
Honestly, my personal hero. And this is, again, not the fans' fault who want to stand there. They set a section for standing room only. Fans like to move around the stadium. Seems like a good place to stand. Can't blame them for thinking that. Lewis was ruthless. I'm not kidding. I watched him usher off a 3-year-old, an 80-year-old, a drunk guy, a group of women trying to take a birthday photo. He did not care what your business was in that area or for how long you were going to be there. Your ass had to move. Honestly, what was most impressive about it is I couldn't do it. I'd get worn out by the amount of times I had to tell people to leave. Lewis did it every 4 seconds. for 2 consecutive hours.
I think
and honestly,
he was worn out, Cody.
Yeah, because eventually
How
around
long
the
was he doing this?
So
How long
till
was he
about the
doing this
5th or
for?
6th
took a
inning,
break.
Lewis grabbed his water bottle. He looked like that Popeyes employee after they made those chicken sandwiches. Lewis had done his job. But then after the 6th inning, Lewis was gone, and our guy Kenneth came in.
Kenneth was a nice guy.
Kenneth made it for
Very
about
nice.
an inning. He tried, man. He was working at it for about an inning. And then Kenneth stopped.
And then
Kenneth gave up.
there
It
was-
was not a win. He just started getting people chairs, man. He was pulling them out of concourses. He had given up. Kenneth had given up.
There was another gentleman wearing like a blue security guard shirt. I didn't get his name. And there was somebody sitting in the ADA seating that was wearing a Yankees shirt. And I swear it was Garrett Cole's brother. I mean, he looked just like Garrett Cole. It was Garrett Cole's brother. He was with his
He's
son.
wearing a Judge jersey, though.
Judge jersey, but he looked like Garrett Cole, who was just getting some early scouting in for his brother for tonight. And he had his kid next to him and presumably his wife. And there was some drunk, I don't know if it was a Royals fan, wearing like, was it like a Nacho Libre type of...
Yeah, he's wearing like a Lucha Libre mask.
yeah, there you go. And yeah, Nacho Libre. You're
I
right.
mean, that same same energy.
Same
okay.
thing. And I don't know if he was like, he wasn't cursing at them, but he was cursing. And the Garrett Cole's looking brother guy basically went around, was like, hey, stop cursing in front of my son. Of course, the drunk guy didn't like that. I thought we were about to have a fight. Meanwhile, that security guy just stood there and watched the whole
Dude, he
time.
didn't do anything. His buddy had to drag him off. I thought we were going to have to get out of the media seats and be like, dude, just beat it. He was just being drunk and belligerent to the guy in the Yankees jersey, but his little kid was there, and you're like, dude, just get your guy out of there. The old guy was like, I ain't getting in the middle of that. What? I'm trying to die tonight. Whatever it was, he was not getting.
I thought we were about to have a Yankee. I thought we were about to have a Yankee fan, Royal fan fight right in front of us. Fortunately, that did not happen.
What's your thing? Break up the fight or take video? What
Me?
are you more likely
in my
to do?
role? I'm not doing anything.
What are you more likely to do? Take a video of it or break it up?
In that exact moment last night, video. You were going to come run down the 4 steps of the riser to go break it up. There was 2 security guards standing right there.
They weren't doing anything.
Yeah, so then
They're just hanging out.
Not in that capacity.
Are you going to break it up then, Cody?
I am more likely to be a person to break it up than to take a video. I'm an idiot. I told you I once helped a guy get thrown off the bus because he was like acting belligerent.
It would have been great content. Cody trying to break up the fight. You catch a stray punch.
definitely
Cody's glasses are broken, blood streaking down his nose.
No, I was
That
about
would have
to
been a
say,
story
if
for
you-
today.
If you catch a stray, then are you then involved in this?
That-
Or are you?
That dude was hammered. No, I'm not fighting him either. I just want him out of there.
All right, coming up next, though, we'll get a confidence check. We'll take your calls. 913-586-7965. How confident are you on the Royals getting it done tonight? We do have some math that, unfortunately, is not in their favor. That's coming up next here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
We have entered my favorite season of the year. No, not hoodie and shorts weather. Heated seats and windows down weather. It, honest to God, is the best. I opened up the panoramic sunroof on my new Tiguan from Volkswagen Lee Summit. Before, I'll be honest, my windows did not always work. My car was 12 years old. It had seen the near end, which is why I went to Volkswagen Lee Summit, so I could get the kind of car I felt like I'd been waiting on my entire life. I have never in my life bought a brand new car. This was the first time for me. And if I'm going to make that kind of decision, I wanted to make sure that it was for a car that I loved. I've been driving a Volkswagen for more than 10 years. I wanted something I was comfortable in, but I'll be honest, I looked at all kinds of different cars at all kinds of different dealerships, and I found myself at Volkswagen Lee Summit instead. You have your choice to pick from 3 incredible promotions right there. Pick no payments for 90 days on any new car. Lee Summit Volkswagen will double your down payment, where $3,000 becomes $6,000. Or go the route I did. I got 0% APR for 60 months on my loan. It's been a great experience having this new car. As a matter of fact, my kids, because I'm going to the baseball game tonight, they're like, well, we want to ride in your car tonight. Switching cars with the wife. Making sure that they're happy, that they're in the car that they love. That could be, again, any of those things. 0 payments for the rest of 2024, or 0% APR for up to 60 months, or they'll double your down payment up to $3,000. Go to Volkswagen Lee Summit, VWLeeSummit.com. Pick your car, pick your promotion, and find that new ride, whether it be an Atlas, Atlas Crossport, Tiguan, Taos, or Jetta.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed, and I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week, I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Kansas City, it's Sean Barber. You know there's nothing easier than to enjoy watching the Chiefs with some wings and an ice-cold Bud Light. And Buffalo Wild Wings is serving up both for every game, all season long. Join me at Buffalo Wild Wings, located off I-70 and Little Blue Parkway in Independence, Friday, October 11th. I'll be there from 6 to 8 p.m., celebrating the back-to-back Super Bowl champ while eating some wings and drinking $5 Bud Lights. Nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
For more, go to 965thefan.com. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This year, FanDuel is giving you a chance to win big every Thursday night with FanDuel Squares. It's the same Super Bowl Squares game you've always known, only better. That's because your numbers aren't just randomly assigned. You get to pick them yourself. You can pick as many as you like. You'll get to see the odds beforehand, and you can bet them live during the game. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/Alex and bet on Squares. Plus, if you're new to FanDuel, you can bet $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First, online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Vanguard is 100% client-owned, serving over 50 million investors every day. Whether you're planning for retirement, putting your kids through college, or saving up for your next adventure, Vanguard can help you set personalized investment goals. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Copyright 2024, The Vanguard Group, Inc. All rights reserved. Vanguard Marketing Corporation Distributor.
Who doesn't love getting something for free? Labor Day deals have arrived at the Home Depot, and right now you can get a free Milwaukee 18-volt extended capacity battery, $159 value, when you buy a select tool. Get longer runtime and more battery life so you can power all your fall projects. Shop Labor Day deals and get a free battery when you buy a select tool at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in store and online.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new DayQuil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's winds blowing across a fruited plain, and also your new fire pit, which subsequently sets your gazebo ablaze. It's hard-hitting football, and an even harder-hitting price estimate from your general contractor. That's a star-spangled bummer. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late? You can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a Pick 6, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
I think we just got to play our game. That's about it. Come in, know we can compete with these guys. Obviously, a lot of respect for what they do, even regardless of how they feel about that. We respect them quite a bit. So we know we can beat them. So, we've proven it this series. We just got to go do it again. That's about it. Go try to win tomorrow and then see what happens on Saturday.
That was Vinnie Pasquantino in the clubhouse last night after the Royals Game 3 loss. Of course, Game 4 tonight, 7:08 first pitch. Vern's on deck show at 6 here on your home for the Royals, 96.5 The Fan. Vern's going to join us here in about 25 minutes or so. We'll check in as we have every day throughout this postseason ride. Get his thoughts on, yes, we'll talk about some of the decisions that were made not only by the Royals but also by the umps in the game. We'll talk about the three guys in this lineup that have not hit. A lot to get into with Vernon. I want to hear from you guys on not only on the J Southland Tow Service text line but also on the hotline, 913-586-7965. One, kind of a confidence check tonight because we know the history. 72% of teams who win Game 3 go on to win a series. That, of course, applies to the New York Yankees here who won Game 3. So where's your confidence at? And I'm also like, if you were at the game last night, your perspective of the crowd, but also leaving the stadium, did you see this from a lot of people that I guess had issues getting out of Kauffman Stadium? Which
we
is
left
surprising.
later, so it was hard for me to know. I left fairly easily. But.
Yeah. But we were well after the game. I was surprised knowing that, we know leaving Chiefs games is a pain, but there's 75,000 people. There were 40,000 people for this one. So if you were someone out of Kauffman Stadium last night, give us a call, 913-586-7965. I'll ask you the same question, though. Like, where's your confidence? You said you think they're winning tonight.
Extend the series?
72% of teams who win last night basically go on to win the series.
I mean, that's obviously a pretty favorable stat for the teams that go up 2-1. So, I mean, I can't argue with the fact that history is certainly not on the Royals side. And there are a couple of other the Mets locked up part of that percentage yesterday, right? They were up 2-1 and then won the series. Detroit could lock up part of that percentage tonight against the Guardians in Detroit. So they certainly have a chance to continue that history. I am weirdly confident, maybe, that the Royals will at least extend the series. I'm not as sure about Saturday. I kind of want to see how the two teams again appear tonight, where the issues may lie for New York or may lie for the Royals tonight, whether they win or not. If they don't win, obviously, it don't matter for Saturday. But then when you go through it, I don't think they have the pitching advantage, but I do like the way that they saw Garrett Cole in that first series. And the Royals had the definitive pitching advantage last night, and when we got through both starters, it was even. And that what was probably the most disappointing about it. I don't know, I'm like 7 out of 10 that the Royals are going to win the game tonight, advance, and then we'll all figure out a place to go watch filled with stress Saturday night as they have a Game 5 against the Yankees.
I certainly hope that's the case. I certainly do for a variety of reasons. I'll say, what you said about Garrett Cole still is actually weirdly where I'm confident. I'm going to guess he's going to pitch better than he did on Saturday, but I just feel like the Royals got good looks off of him, and this has been a team that bounces back. I'll say this, though. It's interesting, for tonight's game, and just if you're someone that we mentioned the numbers, the percentage to win the series, if you think the Royals are winning tonight, to me, you're better off, if you're someone that bets, you're better off betting the series price than you are just tonight. So the Royals tonight are like plus 130 something underdogs. The series, they're 4-1 to win the series, which makes sense. I get it, right? They're down, and the series would go back to the Bronx. But if the Royals win tonight, the Royals will be dogs on Saturday, of course, but it'll be plus 140, plus 130. So I'm just saying, if you think they're winning tonight and you're already thinking about betting, you're better off betting the Royals to win the series pricing, in my opinion. Yeah,
I think so.
On that, just because of the value you would get at 4-1. I'm not guaranteeing a win tonight. I'm with you. I don't know if I'm as high at 7 or 8 as you are. Like it's 50-50, no, 60-40 is kind of in favor of the Royals, is kind of how I view it.
So you think they're going to win, but you're not like,
but I'll be honest, man, like
overly confident.
4 for 37 with 2 walks and 13 strikeouts
It can't hold
from
forever,
those guys.
though, can it? I mean, if it does, they'll probably lose the series.
They've kept Aaron Judge down, and it hasn't mattered. Do you believe tonight that they can win a game in which, once again, it's the bottom of the order? Although I'll throw Michael Massey, and I'm assuming he'll lead off again tonight. I'm assuming Tommy Pham I'm guessing Tommy Pham will be in the lineup based off his Garrett Cole numbers against Garrett Cole. I'm guessing you'll see him. It might take. You don't like to lean into a game thinking it's going to have to be Tommy Pham, Yuli Gurriel, and Michael Garcia, but that's what it's been this series. I think tonight it has to be somebody else in that 3 at the top of the order. We'll take your calls on this too. 913-586-7965. Let's see. I think we got John in South KC. You're up. You're on Cody and Gold.
Hey, fellas. How's it going?
We're all right, man. How are you?
No, not too bad. It went last night after the game. We're going back tonight with my buddies. I'll tell you what, last night, going in there, we had no problem. There was no line waiting to get in there at all for the tailgate stuff. And leaving, we got out there pretty quick. We did not have any problems leaving the game. That's what I guess some people I've seen on Twitter talking about had a lot of problems. But I'll tell you what, guys, I have a lot of confidence in Cole Reagan Saturday at Yankee Stadium if we can just pull it off tonight. I think Bobby Witt can maybe get out of this little slump he had. He had that one little base hit last night, but I don't know about you guys, but Michael Wacha, we just really need him to pull through tonight. Just get through 6 innings. We can let our bullpen take over. They've been awesome all this entire stretch of the postseason. And if we can just get some, get to the bullpen, maybe Vinnie can get out of the slump too. I don't know if it's his thumb still or whatever, but just believe. I believed in 2014, 2015, and we have no reason to stop believing now. Love to get your guys' take on that as well. Well, thanks for the call, guys.
Hey, thank you. John in KC, 913-586-7965.
I just want Walker to come out of the game with a lead.
Well,
I want him to exit the game when the team is still leading. That's what I need out of starting pitcher Michael Wacha tonight. I'd ask for more for Lugo. I'd ask for more out of that than Reagan's. Leave the game tonight with a lead. I don't care if it's 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-2. Leave when you exit the game as the starting pitcher, because I assume him and Garrett Cole will be looking at a similar time frame. Leave the game with the lead. He, in the entire month of September and in the one start he's made in October, has not allowed more than 3 earned runs. He's actually allowed 2 earned runs or less in every other start except one. So he's been very effective. Just be that again.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen throughout the series, though, like we have to view it differently in terms of innings out of these guys.
No, 4 or 5 tonight.
Wacha could be pitching great, and they probably will still pull him in the 5th or 6th. Yeah, I just don't think.
I don't think you'll see the 6th inning.
No, I mean, I'm just saying if he was pitching great, like it was shutout baseball and
no hitter.
Well, that's okay.
Lugo had no hitter through 3 innings, and he was still gone by the 5th,
right,
4th or 6th.
But so I just think we have seen how they're going to handle the bullpen Urseg did not pitch last night, so my guess he's absolutely available for 6 outs, if not more, tonight. Why not? So if it's the 6th inning, would it stun you if Urseg pitches the 6th and the 7th inning? No, it shouldn't. Everything is in play tonight. It's also like not to be Debbie Downer here, but like for Walker too, man, there's a chance tonight could be his last game in a Royals uniform. I mean,
he has an opt-out.
Go out there. He has an opt-out. I'm guessing he'll. I'm not saying he doesn't want to be back here. I think he does, but financially, it makes sense for him to go and test the market. So this could be it in a Royals uniform for Michael Wacha, who's been incredible. So obviously, I'm sure he wants to go out with an incredible performance that hopefully leads to him being able to pitch next week in an American League Championship Series. But they got to handle their business for starters, as we all know tonight. 913-586-7965. Let's go to Josh. He's in Cedar Rapids. You're on Cody and Gold.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey, man.
Hey, so I'm going back and forth. I'm at like a 6. Something's got to give in this game. I know Cole was he wasn't bad. He was okay on Saturday. I don't know if we're gonna touch him like they did on Saturday, but like you said, the top of the order's got to do something. Something's got to give. Their bullpen was pretty bad. They haven't given up a run in the series, so if we can get to them, I think we'll be all right. But and I wanted to say one thing. Last time I called in, I kind of threw Drew under the bus with the Bengals, so I want to apologize and shout out Drew.
Wow, isn't that nice?
There you go, Josh.
Shout out to Josh, man.
How about that?
He felt bad, dude.
I appreciate you.
He probably got you in like a bad moment in the middle of that Bengals week when it was not going smooth for Drew.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, it was
probably
rough. Still going
that
rough
post-bye
technically.
week, they were probably just making sure Drew was okay. That's nice of him.
I
What a good
appreciate
guy.
it.
You don't often get. Normally, it's the other way. Normally, listeners just get even like, you know what? I don't think I said enough mean things.
I'm
about
waiting
you.
for the text message to come in that says that exact same thing.
913-586-7965.
Somebody didn't need to.
Text line, a lot of people mentioning the stadium situation. Getting in and out of the stadium, they said the issue is, I guess there was maybe not enough people directing traffic. It took them an hour with no one directing traffic in the parking lot. That's the only complaint they had of the entire night. Yeah, I saw that from a lot of people. As you said, by the time we left, the parking lot had cleared out. So I obviously can't speak directly to it, but it sounds like it was maybe in a little bit of an issue. Hopefully that's something that gets corrected tonight. And also it helps if everybody's leaving happy tonight versus everybody being in a crappy mood to begin with after a loss. That also just changes your patience level with parking situation.
Yeah. Probably jamming to Vern, listen to whatever the hell you want on the way out of the parking lot if they get the win.
Look, the team loses and there's a little bit of traffic. I mean, that's just going to set you off. And I think that's probably what happened for some people last night, too.
Little double combo, if you will.
Let's get one more call in, 913-586-7965. Bob in Midtown, you're on Cody and Gold.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for taking me. A couple of things I want to talk about. One, I'm pretty confident going into tonight. We handled Cole well enough before. I think we can get to him. Might take the second time through the order, but I'm confident. A couple of other things that I observed on the broadcast last night. One, Bob just like sitting there on the dugout railing. That was pretty stark to me. The other thing, the bunt that happened that allowed for a sacrifice fly, and the what should have been a strike 2 call wasn't, and that kept the batter alive to go ahead and bunt. If we don't get calls like that, I think it's going to go better for us. But it's all about the umpire, I guess, when it comes to calls like that. All right, thanks, guys. I'll listen off the air.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I did go back and look at that one. What he's talking about, Gold, we were live in the game, so we couldn't see it. If you go back and watch that call, pitch 2 was a strike. I mean, just plain and simple, it was a strike. He would have been down then 0-2 instead of 1-1, giving me opportunity to bunt the guy over that eventually led to the sac fly. Early enough in the game, I can't imagine that I want to put it on the feet of that. But yeah, those are the ones that we talked about to start the show that certainly make a difference. Can I ask one question, though, to the audience? Because you and I were at the game last night. We're going to cover the game again tonight on behalf of 96.5 The Fan. Try to bring you some post-game stuff over on our social media channels, over on Twitter and Instagram at The Fan 965. There were a lot of people complaining about Bob Costas. I did not get to listen to it. Will you guys let me know what the problem was? Let me know, 913-586-7965.
There's a lot wrong with the broadcast yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm asking specifically about the call of Bob Costas. There were 2 clips I heard played. One was Bob Costas reacting to a lazy fly ball by Aaron Judge, in which it sounds like he might have been pretty excited. The Judge almost hit a home run on a weak fly ball, like, that ball's deep. Okay.
Take might out of your sentence. And yeah, you're right.
He's out. And then it sounded like he was practically gushing over some of the other moments. And it doesn't sound like he's very excited about the Yankees. Is homerism our complaint? Is it that he tells like soliloquies like they're long paintings? What was the issue with Bob Costas last night? Because if I just looked at my Twitter feed, umpires and Bob Costas were the only two things I was seeing.
The most common post that I saw from people, and I think that there's fairness in it, is Bob Costas might as well have been wearing a Yankees pin in his suit.
He did seem favorable towards him in the first two games.
This is a playoff tradition with baseball in Kansas City. We all hated Joe Buck back in 15, or 14, I guess it would have been.
Feels right then.
And so I guess it is very fitting. I wasn't watching the broadcast last night, obviously. My sense is, like, we all recognize Bob Costas as one of the all-time greats. I think everybody acknowledges that. I think the feel is just like, they don't like him on baseball right now. Like, just doesn't think it's a great call.
He only calls like 8 games a year, it seems.
But in general, of course, he's an all-time legend in the business. But I think that's the sense I got from a lot. There's some of this the homerism, and then others they just don't like his broadcast of baseball right now.
Okay, I was asking. Again,
right,
I did not get to watch the game last night. I watched him in the first 2 games. I wasn't like blown away or anything, but it seemed like the complaints had hit like an all-time high last night.
I think you're right, though, Cody, in the fact that the way that he tells stories a lot. You know, he has the soliloquies where he goes on, and not that people get tired of it. It's just that his broadcast style is different than others that might get a little bit more enthusiastic, I guess, for a majority of situations.
Someone says they were not happy. They said, no, I did not need to see you guys on the video board at the end of the game on Crown Vision. They used a different word. Hey, that was pre-planned. Sorry, that was pre-planned. Yes, probably not the message.
I didn't know that was going to play.
Probably not the message you wanted right after the loss. It was something that gets played at the end of every Royals game. We weren't sure they were going to play that last night, and they did. So, yeah. You'll like it if they win tonight, though.
Yeah, that's it. It's just a mood-based thing. That's all. I was honestly asking. I wasn't trying to like start a fight over Bob Costas. I didn't get to listen to the game. It just seemed like people were particularly offended by his Yankee homerism in the call or something.
In fairness, I think Darling has been really good, actually. I think in terms of what he's brought to the table as the analyst, I thought he's been really good. But that might just be me, too.
I guess they're also upset because of the Harold Kuntz had sent me the call, and I'd seen that one, too. On the Vinnie one that got snagged, he went, line drive, center field. Oh, caught. Was it caught? And then Ron Darling,
thought it was a hit.
And then Ron Darling was like, yeah, it was caught. He's like, oh, all right. Okay.
Someone said they'd rather listen to Gus Johnson call a baseball game than Bob Costas.
Could you imagine Gus Johnson baseball?
Oh, it would be insane.
It might be a little much. Fly
ball, deep left. He would
might be
if the ball actually goes over the fence, it'd probably be pretty epic. For every ball hits to the warning track, you'd be like, Gus, rein it in, my guy. Rein it in.
Yeah, I still think people disagree with me clearly because of the text line. I still think this is what happens when you're upset, your team loses, and like everything sucks. You know, it's like everything. The team lost, they're on the brink of elimination, and everybody's like, you know what? The parking lot stunk, the broadcast
stink,
the umps stink,
my hot dog was cold.
Yeah. The hot dog was a little soggy, the bun, like everything sucks when you lose. I get it. We're all fans. We've all been there. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying like this all sounds like. They win tonight. Suddenly the parking lot wait, you know what? It only felt like 20 minutes, even though it was an hour. That hot dog was the best hot dog I've ever had at Kauffman Stadium when they're up 7-0.
The TBS camera angle sucked. Now, apparently that was true. Again, did you think that ball was fair or foul? Did you go back and watch the replay again? We were looking at it at the game. I can't tell.
You were very confident in the moment that it was fair. You're like, see or maybe
I thought it hit some chalk. It was more dusty.
Yeah.
I thought maybe some chalk kicked up.
My stance on it was that I didn't think they could overturn it. To me, you couldn't tell enough to overturn the original call, which was a foul ball. And basically, that's what they did, right? It was the call stood. It wasn't the call is confirmed. I believe the wording they used was the call stood. Stands. Yeah,
they did say that. So same as the Jazz call, except for one team still won the game and the other one lost. And also, it was later in the game versus earlier in the game. And because of the way baseball rules worked, the next guy got out, and that guy wouldn't even have, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is that it umpiring has been not great in this game. But that guy was standing 20 feet from the ball. Who am I to say that he knows better whether or not it was fair or foul?
I don't want to, keep beating the horse of the replay thing, but wasn't there another game? I don't know if it was the Guardians-Tigers game, but there was another game that had a replay controversy. I don't know if it was yesterday or if it was on a Tuesday.
Always, man.
But I believe there was
always some replay controversy.
There was another replay issue.
Always
in a different game.
Baseball's, yeah. Their replay stinks. They should just get rid of it. It is the worst in all of major professional sports. VAR is better. I know soccer fans hate it too. VAR is way better.
VAR
That's
stinks.
terrible.
It
Yeah,
stinks.
so that's awful.
You could be offside by a toenail, and the goal doesn't count.
Fine. You're off. I mean, what do you say? It's a rule. You're offsides. What can I say? I was told that if you're tagged before your foot's on the bag in baseball, you're also out. Yeah. But that didn't matter in their replay system. You're technically over the line. So I don't know what to tell you, guy who's over by a toenail.
They need to have lasers
Obviously, tennis
going
is
down
the.
the
Can we
baseline.
agree that at least tennis is the best of all replay systems?
Yeah, you see Rafa retired today.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, 22 Grand Slams. He's done.
Man, when he lost at Roland Garros in the Olympics on clay, that's when you probably should have known. That stinks.
Didn't he
One
get
of the all-time
smoked by
greats.
Alcaraz? That was like a passing of the torch almost.
Yeah, he got cooked.
Him and Roger Federer now. Andy Murray's gone.
Too bad. I almost said R.I.P. He didn't die.
He retired. He retired.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's not R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you'd say if someone died. He didn't die. His career died today. But he'll go down as one of the single greatest.
All right.
He'll go down as one of the single greatest tennis players of all time.
All right, up next, we welcome in our Royals insider, Josh Vern, get his perspective on what we saw last night, including some of the issues that obviously a lot of people had with the game, and what's his confidence level the Royals can send this thing back to the Bronx on Saturday.
Cody and Gold.
I didn't sleep well. I was drunk.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Calling all Kansas City football fans to downtown Las Vegas. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for the ultimate game day getaway. Huddle up at Overhang Bar with 96.5 The Fan for our pregame tailgates on Fridays with drink specials and giveaways, including a pair of game day tickets. Then catch all the action at the world's largest sportsbook or lounge in the center of it all at America's favorite place to watch football, Stadium Swim, featuring 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. To book your Huddle Up experience, visit circalasvegas.com today.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most. Like dinner with loved ones. Letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at BlueKC.com.
Well, it's an election year, so everybody's talking about trust. Talk is cheap. Trust is earned. This is Gene at House of Diamonds. And just like it's better to judge candidates by their history instead of their promises, the same is true for jewelers. The guys who once sold lab diamonds for thousands of dollars with a straight face are now literally giving them away, and want you to trust them when they say this month's once-in-a-lifetime sell is better than last month's, or that there's such a thing as free financing. Look, trust is earned over time. In our case, over 30 years, and is as precious as the real diamonds, gemstones, and custom jewelry here at House of Diamonds. It's why we still personally design and handcraft all the custom jewelry we sell. Trust is earned by delivering on promises and exceeding expectations. That's what we do every day at House of Diamonds. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
This year, FanDuel is giving you a chance to win big every Thursday night with FanDuel Squares. It's the same Super Bowl Squares game that you've always known, only better. That's because your numbers aren't just randomly assigned. You get to pick them yourself. And you can pick as many as you like. You'll get to see the odds beforehand, and you can bet them live during the game. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/610Bob and bet on the squares. Plus, if you're new to FanDuel, you can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and you don't have to keep living with all of that joint pain. Real, lasting relief is possible with help from QC Kinetics. People here are getting their lives back, getting their mobility back, thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies that can revitalize your joints. And I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine, using your own body's healing properties, highly concentrated and carefully placed in your achy joint. Back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain. These are cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a quick in-office procedure that can get you moving again. You owe it to yourself to learn more. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
It's the best time of the year. It's tailgate season, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time at Hy-Vee's Wine and Spirits department. This week is the perfect time to stock up and save on wine, beer, seltzer, and spirits during Hy-Vee's Thirsty Thursday sale. This Thursday only, get a 50-cent Fuel Saver discount for every $50 you spend on beer, wine, hard seltzer, and spirits. I love seeing the price at the pump go down when I use my Fuel Saver card. Don't miss Thirsty Thursdays only at Hy-Vee. Offer valid at Kansas City area Missouri stores only.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Vern's On Deck show starts at 6. First pitch just after 7 for Game 4 of the ALDS. Right here on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFMC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
I've seen us win 2 games a lot of times, so that's all we got to do. But just do it one game at a time, 2 times, and so just now got our guy walk on the mound tomorrow. Gonna enjoy it and take it all in for sure.
Bobby Witt Jr. in the clubhouse yesterday after the Game 3 loss. Game 4 tonight, 7:08 first pitch. Vern's On Deck show at 6 right here on your home for the Royals, 96.5 The Fan. Welcome back in, 11 o'clock hour. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Let's go out to our guy, Josh Vernier. Of course, last night, driving back from the K, listening to the postgame. Interesting string of callers at one point or two. Vern, appreciate your time as always, man. He's brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Baseball fans, let's just get right to it. I mean, this is a team that, of course, faces elimination tonight. They have dealt with some bad stretches throughout this season. Nothing quite like this. Give me why Royals fans should feel confident that they can force this thing back to the Bronx.
Well, it's a baseball game, right? Listen, Royals could play their best game of the season and still lose because baseball goes all baseball, and vice versa. They could play their worst game of the season and walk away victorious. But, by now I would like to think Royals fans know what they have going for them in Bobby Witt Jr. and Salvador Perez, but you're also staring down the barrel of a guy that for the past decade has been one of the 5 best right-handers in the sport, and he has an opportunity to punch his ticket to the ALCS for the team that he grew up rooting for. It's not going to be easy. I understand the Royals held their own against Gerrit Cole back in Game 1. But Gerrit Cole's Gerrit Cole for a reason, his ability to adjust. I expect him to be really good tonight. Clark Schmidt was outstanding last night. Yankees earned that win. Royals are going to have to do the same tonight.
I know there's other things that go into it, and it might be oversimplifying it, but I mean, I can't help but just thinking, all right, how this series has gone, what could change it tonight? Bobby Witt, Vinny, Salvi, I mean, they're 4 for 37.
Yeah, 100%. Back against the wall, season on the line. I'm looking to my superstars. Seth Lugo's not there. Cole Reagans isn't there. Neither one of them really delivered in a fashion that we've become accustomed to seeing in 2024. Somebody needs to, right? If the 2 all-star pitchers are not going to be able to meet their standard, well, let's hope Bobby and Salvi can tonight. Neither one of them really with a great opportunity to come through last night. The one trip to the dish for Bobby with a runner in scoring position. They just worked around him. Salvi never came to the plate with a man in scoring position. Vinny had that big opportunity in the 5th. But again, last night's game, sure, there were moments for Vinny, for MJ, for Yuli, for Bubic, for Lugo. And no, they weren't able to make the big hit or the big pitch. And the Yankees they came out on top. It was a great game last night, but their star and Giancarlo Stanton, their possible future Hall of Famer, looked like one last night. Let's hope Gerrit Cole does not tonight.
Vern, I know that the losers lament that the umpires or referees impacted a game in a way that cost you, but I'm not going to just ignore the fact that it's had an impact on this series. Am I saying it has lost the Royals the series or it has lost the Royals an individual game? No. But this game is being called horribly, right? I don't have to just ignore the fact that the umpiring and the strike zone has been bad.
I don't know. The 3-1 pitch to Juan Soto last night in the 4th inning. Did I think that was strike 2? But again, MJ put the ball in play. Vinny, man on third, 2 outs. You're one of the best in the sport in that situation. I needed you to do that last night. Yuli Gurriel, man, you've picked this team up so often over the past week and a half. I needed you last night. And look, if you're waiting for the home plate umpire to help win the game for you, you shouldn't be in this situation. Royals had opportunities last night. They did not capitalize, and the Yankees did. Right, Yankees pitched better. Luke Weaver, Tommy Kahnle, Clay Holmes, Clark Schmidt, they were outstanding. Giancarlo Stanton was outstanding. The eye of Juan Soto continues to be outstanding. Yankees just won that game.
When you look at, and I understand like what you're talking about, but like obviously the walks have been a huge problem for the Royals. And if the strike zone's going to be inconsistent, it seems like it's making it life even harder for them. But I will disagree. The walks are maybe the second biggest issue next to what he said, the middle of the order.
Yeah, the 9 walks in game 1. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so fixated on every single pitch. All walks are not the same. We could dive into each one of those 8 in game 1. Now, there's no excusing Sam Long's to lead off the 6th or the bases loaded walk by John Schreiber. And we talked about that on the postgame show. We could lay part of the loss at the feet of Long and Schreiber in game 1. But 9 walks last night, no, you're not normally going to win a game when you walk 9. But if we're being honest, 2 of the walks really turned into something. The leadoff walk that I mentioned to Juan Soto on that questionable 3-1 pitch. And then the walk, the non-competitive walk to the 8-hitter, Oswaldo Cabrera. Outside of that, the other 7 walks that happened last night did not play a factor in the final score.
Sure, but one of those walks led to a run, and it was 3-2. Like, whether we like it or not, I mean, those things certainly
that's
are.
The Soto one.
Like, when you throw enough walks in a game, you're going to get there. I think that's probably been maybe the most disappointing part of the series. Maybe not even for me, Salvi, Vinny, and Bobby, but the fact that the starting pitching staff, which has been the bell cow of this team, hasn't had but just the one start from Cole Reagans in the wild card where you're like, wow, you did everything to help us win tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. But, I refuse to find myself disappointed in this season, in this team, certainly in those starting pitchers. Yeah, if you're going to win the World Series, we've known this all season that those starting pitchers were going to need to be studly. You're in the final 7, the final 8 in Major League Baseball. You have a chance to still punch your ticket to the ALCS. This is what happens in the playoffs. You're facing really good teams, and who's playing the best right now? That could send me off on a whole other discussion. I swear to God. Please, Tigers, Mets in the World Series, and baseball can just continue to screw itself with this goofy postseason. 2 6 seeds? Are you kidding me? What a joke.
We're talking to Josh Vern, our Royals insider. Again, his On Deck show begins at 6 o'clock right here on your home for the Royals, 96.5 The Fan. We know they're facing elimination, so it's all hands on deck tonight. Would it surprise you at all knowing that Urseg did not even pitch last night? There wasn't a spot really for that. If he gives them two plus innings?
You have to. I mean, unless Michael Wacha's on a different level than what we've seen over the past few weeks. But even if he is, even if he goes 7, he hands it right to Lucas Urseg. No, all hands on deck. Shoot, Cole Reagans. It's a bullpen day for Cole Reagans, so that 1 inning of work, who knows? He could come in for a big at-bat against, an Austin Wells, a Jazz Chisholm, a Juan Soto. I would be more surprised to see Cole Reagans work that bullpen inning, but then I would, 2+ from Lucas Urseg. But, everyone is available tonight.
And then lineup-wise, other than maybe Adam Frazier not being there, you expect the same. And Michael Massey obviously has come up big throughout this series in that leadoff spot.
Yeah, I think you run back the same lineup we saw back on Saturday with Massey at the top, Yuli in the 5 spots, MJ, Tommy, Izzy, and Michael Garcia. And I understand, Dusty brought it up earlier this morning, had callers that brought it up last night on the postgame show, Vinny, 0 for 12 with the walk. If Vinny is no longer just grinding through an injury, but it's now starting to be a detriment, I'm fine if Q sits him down. It's painful that it's his birthday, and he would have to take a spot on the bench.
Happy birthday to you, too, by the way, Vern.
Garrett Hampson as well.
Wow.
Everybody around the world, they're never losing tonight. Your birthday, Garrett Hampson, and Vinny's?
And if you go back and look at it, 10-10-2014, Gordo's big home run in Baltimore, 10-10-20, 1985, George Brett with a big home run. So put your money on a lefty bat tonight. I don't know if it's Massey, if it's the birthday boy, Vinnie Pasquantino, but Royals history would say a lefty bat's going bridge tonight.
Wait, are you a lefty too?
No, I'm just a bad baseball player that swung from the right side.
Too bad, man. You'd have been in the bigs if God had just let you be born left-handed.
Yep. throw with your left hand, swing from the left side, and we'd all be in the big leagues. It's that easy. It's that easy.
It's like certainly being born 6'11", you know?
Yes, exactly.
You just have that advantage. When you look at what the Yankees have been doing, you said, hey, the Yankees won that game last night. They won that game on Saturday. What pitfalls do the Royals have to avoid from the Yankees? Like right now, Judge has not been the person who beat him. Stanton, that was his first big game. He hit the ball hard all damn night. But what do they need to try to neutralize from New York if they're going to win tonight?
Boy, neutralize. Boy, that's tough. They're giving themselves just such great at bats. They're doing such a great job of forcing the Royals to come to them, and like you've mentioned, take their walks. You look at the first 3 games and it's a push, right? 11 runs for each side. Listen, I don't think it's. Maybe you guys have an answer. I certainly don't. There isn't something to me where I'm like, it's that again. Are you? Now, obviously, yeah, 8 walks in game 1, 9 last night, but that goes without being said. You can't issue free passes. You can't give up an extra 90 feet. We say that stuff in the regular season. No, this is just going to come down to who makes the play. What Giancarlo Stanton did last night, right? Back-to-back sliders basically in the same spot, and he touched up that second one. Yuli Gurriel got back-to-back fastballs from Luke Weaver in the 8th inning, and he missed. Vinnie Pasquantino had back-to-back offerings in the 5th inning. The second one was good enough to put in play and to make some real noise, and he just missed it. Who doesn't miss tonight? Who makes the big pitch? Who's going to be the hero tonight? And where we started, man, all eyes obviously focused on Bobby Witt Jr. This... for him and for Salvador Perez, biggest game that maybe they play in for the rest of their careers. Who knows?
There was definitely nervous energy, dead silence at times going into those at-bats late at Kauffman Stadium. What do you make of the crowd? We talked about earlier, there's, I think it's the vocal minority on social media. Some people thought the crowd wasn't great. Up until the 5th inning, this team only had 1 hit, Vern. I don't know where the crowd was supposed to erupt, and when it was fitting, it did. What did you make of the crowd?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, more than pleasantly surprised at how it was, 95-5 Royals fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys could tell me if I'm wrong,
Yeah,
but
no, that's about right.
It was dominated by Royals fans. That was nice to see when you could have made a pretty penny by selling them to Yankees fans. That 5th inning when Michael Massey hit that Eric Hosmer-esque RBI triple in the when he pops up on third base and he can't breathe because he's so excited and he just rants. Man, that was great, and that place was pulsating. It was like hurting my eardrum. So in the big moment, they made noise, and once that game was tight, they sat there and enjoyed a terrific baseball game. I thought the crowd was quality. I thought it was a quality 40,000 in the building last night. It was nice to see.
I think that's part of what stood out about the 2 games and why I'm not down, I guess, on the Royals' chances to win this series, Vern, is the 2 games they lost were both really good, highly competitive Major League Baseball playoff games. What you're talking about existed, right? One team made 1 play, one team didn't make 1 play. That might very well be the difference in those 2 games.
Jazz Chisholm in the 7th inning in game 1, and, I mentioned Stanton, but you earlier brought up that leadoff walk in the 4th inning, right? Yeah. If that 3-1 pitch is called strike 2, full count, who knows how Lugo executes the next offering to Juan Soto. Yeah, it's a razor-thin margin come the postseason when you have 2 well-rounded teams that are playing with confidence like these 2 squads are.
Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, his on-deck show tonight, 6 o'clock. Get you set for Game 4 of the ALDS. Appreciate it, Vern.
All right, thanks for having me on.
First pitch, 7:08, right here on 96.5 The Fan. And, of course, Vern's post-game show. Hopefully, we're talking about going to a Game 5 and not the end of a pretty special season in Kansas City after tonight.
That's what we're trying to avoid. Also, you had told me earlier, I said I'll do a song live, and you're like, which song?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's Vinnie Pasquantino's birthday and he doesn't have a hit in this series, I think the decision's made.
Do you think they're actually not going to have him in the lineup?
Today? No, I don't.
He's going to be in the lineup.
He's going to be in the lineup. You do not. This is the same thing going back to the starting pitching. Vinnie Pasquantino had a great year. He has been one of their most important players. You got to count on Vinnie Pasquantino tonight to come through with a big hit for you.
With you.
There is no reason not to count on Vinnie Pasquantino based on that. which means in the 1 o'clock hour today, I will once again sing Pasquantino live. And we know what happened the last time we did Pasquantino live. It worked out pretty good for our guy, Vinny. So that's happening in the 1 o'clock hour.
No,
I just got to
fully,
find the music, Drew. I believe I still have the lyrics somewhere.
Yeah. I'm fully in support of him being in the lineup tonight. I know that started, I think, this morning on the morning show with Dusty, and I get the thought process with it. I just don't believe that's a move they make. I also I think you look at what that three had been throughout the season. I understand that he's dealing with a thumb injury and all that, but that still is your best chance to create offense. Props to guys like Tommy Pham and Michael Massey and Maikel Garcia that have been really good in this. Garrett Hampson in this series in the postseason. But ultimately, we know if this team is going to all of a sudden, if this team is all of a sudden going to put up some runs against Garrett Cole, I still think you like your chances with Bobby, Salvi, and Vinny in the middle of the order.
This is the thing about these close playoff games. He was 2 inches away from getting a single in that inning in which Bobby got on base, Salvi hit behind him. If his hit counts, well, then Salvi puts in the game-tying run, and then we'll just see what happens for the rest of the game. And so that can't – I do think it's close. I asked Vinny in postgame last night how close he feels like the offense is. I think it's right there. Like, he thinks the offense is close. You can sense that they've left some runs on the table. Last night, maybe less so than other parts of the series, but I definitely felt there's been some runs left on this table for this team, especially in those first few games. And so – I'll just hope tonight is the night they have it, because as you and I both know, and everybody knows, you don't have very many elimination games in a season. Typically 1, 2, 3, maybe tops on this end. This is it for the Royals. They know they have to win if they want to keep playing baseball.
As far as what we've seen, his thumb is fine, right? I mean, I know that you guys.
I don't know.
I don't think it's like perfect or anything.
I don't know.
It's not like he's flexing his hand or anything. He's not doing any of that, is he? In terms
of but I don't know if it's fair to say it's fine either. I'm guessing he's feeling that thumb.
He's not. It's not to the point where he would be taken out of the lineup because of the thumb being the issue. Is what I'm saying.
No, if you're no, I mean,
I don't know, because you guys were in the locker room. In the clubhouse. I don't know if you noticed, like he wasn't doing it on the broadcast, but he's like flexing his hand, or if there's any of that.
No.
Trash of the day.
All right. We know Halloween is right around the corner. I don't know if you've already got your kids' costumes figured out and everything like that.
They're good to go.
This was not Halloween yet, but there's a photo from Germany of an individual that was caught speeding. Traffic camera. I say individual because I honestly don't know the age, the gender, or anything, and that you're like, what? What do you mean? Well, that's because in the screenshot of this individual driving, the individual is dressed up like the Cookie Monster. Full costume. The screenshots are hilarious. Cookie Monster was caught speeding on camera in Germany. It was in Dortmund by a roadside camera, captured a person, blue suit on a big googly eye, focused dead ahead on the road. I mean, just standing straight ahead.
Who drives in a full Cookie Monster costume? Is that legal?
Going 60 and a 50.
Yeah,
could be worse.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
It could be a lot worse.
In the TMZ article, it says, on a more serious note, cops say wearing a big costume like this can obscure a person's vision. And they're saying Cookie Monster's lucky not to have ended up in the hospital.
Oh. Is it illegal?
If he's ever,
if not, then just leave me alone.
He faces a fine if he's ever caught. Right now, they didn't pull him over. This was a traffic cam. They don't know who this individual is. The license plate was not captured. So the cars reportedly, they did find out. I guess they did get the license plate. They did reportedly find out it's registered to a 57-year-old man in a nearby town. But it's hard to tell who was driving the vehicle.
Can you get off at court? Because they have to be able to, most of the time, these traffic cams, be able to recognize the driver of the car in the situation. I think he's getting out of this ticket, dude. I think even if he gets called to court and they are like, it's your car, you were driving, I'll be like, prove it. What do you mean, this Cookie Monster costume? That's not enough to prove that I was driving the car. I lend my car out all the time, is what I would say. Could have been any of my friends in that Cookie Monster outfit, and I will not be held responsible for this. Have you ever, obviously we've all been to a costume party, and you have to go to the party dressed in the outfit.
You don't have the mask on, though.
Yeah, but if it's got a mask, you wait to put that on until you get there.
You don't drive with the mask. There are safety concerns there, too, I think. Someone says he's already identified. What are you guys talking about? It's a Cookie Monster. There's no identification needed.
Was he seen leaving a bakery? Was he like leaving the scene of a
only
crime?
The only way this was better is if in the still shot somehow he's eating a cookie. That would have been
He's holding a jar
of milk or a glass of milk. Like that's the only way the still shot would be better.
I wonder if he. I mean, you would think too if he did get pulled over, then he would sell it by.
Does he talk like the Cookie Monster as the officer rolls down, or as they roll out the window?
What a moment, sir! Can you please give me your license and registration and take that mask off for just a second? I mean, honestly, the still shots are incredible. He's just like in the back of this like late model Audi in a full Cookie Monster costume. It looks so ludicrous that you just can't hardly believe it. And so, yeah, I would, I say. I mean, I get that they're like saying the fine's. He said if he's ever caught, the fine is 40 euros. Okay, I mean he'll probably be okay.
What was that like?
I don't know, $50, $60.
$60.
I don't know what I don't know what the conversion between euro and American dollars is. Anybody know that off the top of their heads?
10 over 60's not bad. $60.
Oh, it's not even that. 43.71.
Oh, that's a
pretty much even with the euro at the moment. Yeah, that
Someone
really isn't bad.
913-586-7965. Next time they're running late for work, they're throwing on the Big Bird costume, flying down 435.
Say, come and get
the
me.
Big Bird. He won't be able to fit in the car.
Yeah.
Just play dumb, man. Get a lawyer and be
Open
like,
the
prove that
sunroof.
it's me.
Open the sunroof a little bit. Have some room.
Pleading the fifth.
Cody earlier was mentioning the panoramic. That isn't open. That's just panoramic, right?
No, mine opens.
So could you wear the Big Bird would the head of the Big Bird stick out the top
Absolutely.
of the V-dub?
The panoramic roof goes like 2/3 of the way back.
Okay.
The sun comes in all the way to the back of the car, right? But about 2/3 of the way. That's very nice. I gotta be honest, I didn't have a sunroof in my last car. Big fan of the sunroof being open. It's nice.
I have one. I don't feel like I utilize it enough.
I use it all the time.
An old car I had a sunroof. If it was sunny outside, open all the time. If it was warm enough, it was always open.
So says that guy's going to show up in court with a bag of Chips Ahoy.
I forced my kids to become windows down kids. I like the windows down when I drive when it's nice outside. And when they were little, they'd be like,
on the highway?
It's windy.
On the highway?
It's not windy.
Wait, on the highway?
On the highway, I roll it up for them.
Okay.
If it's me, sometimes I'll have the windows down on the highway.
Yeah.
No.
I like the windows down, man.
A joyride, yeah.
I like the windows down.
The only way I've done that on the highway, if when I was driving, like in the like when you got an ocean to your right,
Crisp
you got
mountain air.
you're in the mountains. Sure. I'm with you then. Then it's just like just soak it all in. But if I'm going on 435, I'm stuck in traffic, and you got exhaust fumes. I don't really want my car window completely rolled down and everything.
Fair enough.
Houston traffic, not exactly wanting to roll my windows down, just sitting there.
Smog.
Just
filtering through the car.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm with you.
Driving 20 minutes home. It's not that big a deal.
That is the trash of the day. Up next, Cheese Shred half hour, and then we'll get right back into the Royals. But I want to talk a little bit about what's one thing that they did on Monday night that I think we're going to see a lot more of the rest of the way.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
This year, FanDuel's giving you a chance to win big every Thursday night. That's tonight with FanDuel Squares. It's the same Super Bowl Squares game you've always known, only way better. That's because, your numbers are not just going to be randomly assigned to you. You don't have to worry about that. You're going to get to pick them yourself. You can pick as many as you like, and you'll get to see the odds beforehand, and you can even bet them live during the game. So tonight, San Francisco and Seattle. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/Alex and bet on Squares. Plus, if you're new to FanDuel, you can bet $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm broadcasting live from Hy-Vee today in Mission, Kansas, right off of Mart Way, and I'm going to be here till 1 o'clock. You need to come by and say hello because it's steak dinner day at Hy-Vee. Just $10 for an 8-ounce steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and green beans. It's the best price and best steak in town every Thursday at Hy-Vee. Plus, Hy-Vee is your one-stop shop for everything you need for Chiefs game day. Ready to eat baby back ribs, just $15 a slab, or 2 for $25. Plus, it's getting close to flu season, so make sure you get your flu shot or COVID vaccine before flu season is in full swing. Schedule an appointment online or just drop by the pharmacy while you're shopping. And don't forget to score the savings is back at Hy-Vee. Win or lose, the more points the Chiefs score, the more you save at Hy-Vee. If the Chiefs score 35 points, you'll earn 35 cents in Fuel Saver rewards with a $35 purchase the day after the game. We're at Hy-Vee in Mission till 1 o'clock. Come by and say hi. I'm Bob Fesco with 96.5 The Fan.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
We interrupt with a special report from the Missouri Lottery. With a new millionaire every 8.1 days last year, there's no shortage of Missouri Lottery winners. However, there is currently a shortage of confetti. This may impact all confetti-related activities, hullabaloos, whoop-de-doos, jamborees, shebangs, and any and all festive goings-ons. Rest assured, Missouri Lottery winners will receive a single confetto with every big win for the time being. We apologize for the shortage, but not the winning. Thus concludes this report from the Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome. Play responsibly.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
What does it mean to be the official information technology provider for the Chiefs? It means everything. Technology Group Solutions makes sure everything runs flawlessly for the millions of fans that attend games and the hundreds of millions of fans that comprise Chiefs Kingdom around the world. Technology Group Solutions can deploy that same dedication, problem solving, and incredible service to ensure your business runs smoothly. Technology Group Solutions, powering Chiefs Kingdom, and ready to do the same for you.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm broadcasting live from Hy-Vee today in Mission, Kansas. We're off of Mart Way, and I want you to come out and see us. We're going to be here till 1 o'clock, but Steak Dinner Day goes all day at Hy-Vee. Every Thursday, you can get a $10 8-ounce steak plus garlic mashed potatoes and green beans only at Hy-Vee. It's the best price and best steak in town every single Thursday. Plus, don't forget that Hy-Vee is your one-stop shop to get everything you need for Chiefs game day. Whether it's ready-to-eat baby back ribs at $15 a slab or 2 for $25, or that perfect party tray or take-and-bake pizza, Hy-Vee has it all for Chiefs game day. You can also come by Hy-Vee and get your flu shot or COVID vaccine before flu season is in full swing. Just schedule an appointment online or drop by the pharmacy while you're shopping. But more importantly, come see me today. I'm in Mission, Kansas at Hy-Vee until 1 o'clock with $10 steak day. It's steak, it's potatoes, it's green beans, all for $10, only at Hy-Vee.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
And a reminder, coming up at 12:10, we'll have our weekly conversation with former Chiefs wide receiver Danon Hughes. Of course, he's on the Chiefs radio network, and you hear him along with Mitch Holthus, Dan Israel, Josh Klingler right here on 96.5 The Fan. It's a bye week for Danon. Find out what he's doing in the bye week. Who knows? I don't know. Are the Iowa Hawkeyes in action this weekend? I don't know if he's going up there. We'll find out from Danon and figure out what he's doing for the bye week. Also, of course, ask him how he feels about this team. 5-0. A banged-up team, but still 5-0. I think we all agree their best game maybe of the season on Monday night. So we'll get into that with Danon. We'll probably also ask him about this, which is how the Chiefs are going to approach the tight end position going forward. Because before the Rashee Rice injury even, and before we saw them utilize multiple tight ends again on Monday night, they were already featuring 42% of their snaps with multiple tight end sets. They were third in the NFL in 13 personnel. But that was happening before the Rashee Rice injury. Then we all saw that opening drive against the Saints on Monday night, where it was a heavy dose of Kareem Hunt, and then any pass essentially went to either Travis Kelce, Noah Gray. Later in the game, there was a pass even Jody Fortson caught, who was just activated from the practice squad after, I think, being on the street, getting cut during camp from the Miami Dolphins. So that is clearly part of the formula for them going forward. I'm not saying it's going to be every single week where we're going to see the opening drive feature tight ends, but that is clearly an area they believe they're going to have success in, a combination of utilizing multiple tight ends, and it was effective. And I think the running game is effective because of that.
I think what I loved about it is that it set up the rest of the day on offense. They spent, Gold, almost an entire half throwing only exclusively to tight ends. They didn't even bother throwing to a wide receiver. They legitimately just threw to Noah Gray, threw to Travis Kelce, flipped one out to Jody Fortson. They spent almost an entire half of football before they even bothered throwing to a wide receiver. They just kept going back to the well, kept going back to the well, kept going back to the well. Now, I think you got to be a little bit careful with it because you have to at least understand that there's a limit, I think, in which you should use Travis Kelce and worry about his health come week 17. An early bye week is bad for the Chiefs, just generally speaking, as it were. But it's bad for the Chiefs because I don't want Travis Kelce running out of steam in week 13, 14, 15, or any of the things beyond. He's a great player. He's taken a lot of beating over the course of his career. And we saw what taking week 17 or week 18, I guess, game 17, week 18 off meant for Travis Kelce last year from a health standpoint going into the postseason. So if they're going to have this, let's throw to tight ends all the time, I think it has to include a heavy dose of Noah Gray. If this is your new strategy on tight ends, Noah Gray should be a regular participant in it.
But that's the thing. It's not all that new, though. As I said, they were already doing this 42% of the time. In terms of the formation, doesn't always mean that they're passing to the tight end or even passing. It could be off or run off of it, too. But it was almost half the time anyway. So I don't think it's as big of an adjustment to that. But to your point, just the wear and tear, I think we all acknowledge for Travis, it's not about individual ability. That is all still there. It's can he still be effective in week 15 if they have to utilize him, to your point. So, yeah, it's Noah Gray. It's Jody Fordson. I still think Jared Wiley, I know he's a rookie, and so, he hasn't really done anything on the field yet. And maybe that changes post-bye week and further into the season. But, yeah, they're going to have some other options. It's still why, even take it away from the tight ends, why I believe they still need to go trade for a wide receiver. As great as it was nice to see that formations with the tight end work, it was nice to see Juju Smith-Schuster have a huge game. All that, I don't know if that's sustainable for another 15 weeks, including the postseason. That's why you pick your name. We've all done it, whether you think it should be Amari Cooper, whether you think it should be Darius Slayton or Adam Thielen, whoever, Deontay Johnson, we can keep going. Somebody in the next 4 weeks, I think they will go out and acquire.
Okay, over on Twitch, they were talking about this very thing. M98 had mentioned on there, and then I went to go look up on there. Did you look at Tyreek Hill's Snapchat yesterday? Is he longing?
That could mean a lot. By the way, that could mean so many different things. That's just so many different directions that could be for Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill, starting about 15 hours ago on Snapchat, and you're going to be like, what time of day was that? Okay, just listen.
Go ahead.
Tyreek Hill, 15 hours ago on Snapchat, posted 25 straight snaps that are him catching a touchdown for the Chiefs. Him hugging Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes smiling. Him catching another ball from the Kansas City Chiefs. I am not
kidding. You follow
him
on Snapchat?
No, they just pointed it out. I just went and looked it up. He posted 25 straight stories of him scoring touchdowns, catching passes, hugging Patrick Mahomes, all straight consecutive over on Snapchat. Are we reading into this?
No.
That's a lot of posts,
2025.
man. 25.
2025.
2025. Drew's saying he's going to, I don't know if it was 25. I was estimating. It was a lot of posts. It continues to be. It started about 15 hour, 20 hours ago. I don't know, but it's continued since then. Like go to his Snapchat if you want.
Here's the thing,
it is nothing but cheese photos.
So, interesting, yeah. Do I read into it? Not that much. We're talking about Tyreek Hill here. There's so many. So many things that can mean to him. So many. His mindset changes from one day to the next. I have no clue. If you're insinuating, do I think that he wants to be back in Kansas City? Well, I would have told you that 2 years ago. Yeah, I don't think he ever really wanted to leave. He left because he needed the money. That's why he left. The Chiefs offered him a big contract. It wasn't good enough. He's got a lot of financial things to take care of.
Well, maybe he feels like he really misses his guy. He really misses his quarterback.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I just don't know if you're insinuating he was requesting a trade to Kansas City or something. No, I do not think that's what that. I don't think that's what that means. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking it means he'd like to be here.
Well, again, I think that was the case. We could have said that a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
I think it means he'd like to be back in Kansas City. I would say it makes it likely.
Of course he would. He's got Tim Boyle, who got cut, and now he's got Tyler Huntley, and he's had, no offense to K-State fans, Skylar Thompson throwing the football. Yeah, I would want a different quarterback right now, too. The Dolphins stink.
That's why Devontae Adams is requesting a trade.
Awful.
If Tyreek Hill made a wish list like Devontae Adams has, apparently.
Chiefs would be number one, right? I don't think they can afford him, if you want to know the truth. But
neither one.
I don't think they can afford Tyreek. I was just pointing out what was happening over on
it's interesting. Who knows what's going through his mind.
He's probably sick of, is it,
That's what I'm saying, Tyler Huntley.
Tyler
Huntley now.
Snoop Huntley, whatever it is.
What happened to Skylar Thompson? Did he get hurt, or did they just moved on?
Yeah, he's hurt. They cut Boyle, and then Thompson's
hurt. Right. They cut Tim Boyle. I mean, he only has 200.
Does Ryan Tannehill just not want to play football anymore?
Well, you don't want to play for Miami. They bailed on his ass.
I know, but nobody else has called him up.
They finally got a lead this past weekend, right? I mean, there had been a point where they hadn't even led
the Patriots
for barely at all. Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots have only beat the crappy Cincinnati Bengals, Drew. So I mean, it's pretty stunning. Pretty stunning.
That's their only win. And who's the Bengals only win against?
Drake May starting finally for the Patriots.
The Red Rifle and the Carolina Panthers.
My God! If your only win is against the Carolina Panthers, yikes!
My wife told me that I might need to not watch the game on Sunday because the one game that they won, I was at the NASCAR race and I did not watch, and they won the game. I watched the other games and they've lost all of them.
Maybe you should stay away from your team.
Apparently, I'm the curse. I guess I don't know.
I mean, something's wrong.
You got the hat on today. How's that hair? How's that hair?
The Browns getting in. The Browns getting in a little bit more. I think I'm going to get it cut here soon. I was offered to go and get it bleached again, actually.
Like Joe Burrow, that haircut, though, when you're 1-4, you can't have the haircut that he has when you're 1-4.
Well, it's not like he went and he did it when they were 1-4.
You can't have but you gotta fix it. Like when you're 1-4, you as a quarterback, you cannot have that haircut.
So you're saying he needs to dye it back to his natural hair color.
When you are 1-4, you cannot have that kind of haircut and hairstyle. I know it sounds very Colin Coward of me right now, but you can't. You can't take you seriously.
Yeah.
You think there's just like a limit, huh?
Yeah, you
this
can't
does
have
sound
that
a little
haircut
Coward
when
with
you're
the backwards hat.
But the
Baker Mayfield takes.
Yeah, and I apologize for that, but like 1-4, you can't have that haircut right now.
You gotta just buzz it. You gotta go like you're going through a life crisis. It's time to get things right. You can't have dyed tips anymore.
I just don't think. Yeah, you just gotta. There's some things you can't do when you're not winning, and that would be one of them. It's time to go ahead and look like a normal NFL quarterback for a second.
Has anyone looked up what it would cost to acquire Tyreek Hill, like contract wise? What the acquiring team would take? Because someone probably should call Miami on Tyreek.
I think
Hill.
base salary is fairly low remaining this year. I don't know what it is next year. He also wants a new contract. Didn't that come out didn't they just rework it?
I was going to say he just got.
Yeah,
he just reworked it.
I think. Yeah.
He is nothing this year. Actually, it's not
$1
really
million base
problem.
or something, right?
Yeah, he $1.2 million base, a $941,000 roster bonus for each week. So every week that goes on, another $1 million that you technically wouldn't owe him this year if you're the acquiring team. He is a $31 million cap hit next year.
What are we wasting our time for?
And the year after that, he is a $55 million cap hit. But he's at no dollar dead cap hit in year 2. So, I mean, you got to be willing to pay him $31 million next year. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, just because I don't care about the Snapchat thing.
Did you see?
Well, really washed that away pretty quick, huh?
There was something that came up. I think Mahomes commented on it.
I don't even have Snapchat anymore. Do you?
I do not.
No, somebody pointed it out to me on Twitch.
There was a side-by-side of, because I think this past Saturday there was an anniversary of when Cincinnati played Texas Tech, when Kelsey played Mahomes in college, and they showed their haircuts. And Mahomes,
they were bad.
And Mahomes was like, hey, Travis, you trying to run this back, I think, and have the cuts a little bit different. Mahomes, obviously, a lot shorter hair. I don't even remember what Travis Kelsey's hair was like. I think it was just I don't remember if it was shaved or what, but.
It was long.
Oh, yeah.
It was like Corey from Boy Meets World,
90s.
It was like, it wasn't even a mullet. It was just like long. It was just like long flowing locks is what Travis's looked like. And Mahomes just looked like he hadn't seen a proper barber. It just looked like someone hadn't cut his hair or cut it poorly is probably the way I would lay it out.
Patrick was getting the crowd fired up yesterday at the K, though. They should have just kept showing him more.
Oh, I know. Every time they showed him on the Jumbotron, the place went nuts.
They should have just, every half inning, they should have just showed him more. He was doing his part. Eric Hosmer also was pretty cool. He threw out the first pitch, but he was there with his son.
Out the World Series
He's holding
ring.
his son, and he flashes and does a "Let's effing go" on the video. Boy, that was pretty cool. Yeah, they both did their part to fire up the crowd too, and we'll be curious to see who that is tonight. We were guessing who do you think throws out the first pitch tonight? It was right around this time where we found out it was Haas yesterday. You think it's Gordo? We saw Alex Gordon in the stairwell, basically, as we were walking down to the clubhouse. He was obviously at the game.
It's probably another member of the 14 or 15 team. So unless it's going to be Ned Yost comes out of there, I think it'll just be some version of that would be my guess for the ALDS. It'll be another one of those tonight. We'll see. You and I will obviously be covering the game for that, but I think it'll probably be another member of the 14-15 team. I don't know why it wouldn't be. You're in the playoffs, last playoff team to do it. You're not going to have one of your active playoff players throw out the first pitch. So unless they made amends with Frank White sometime in the last 24 hours.
Something tells me he will not be. I don't know why, but, just have a feeling that he will not be throwing out the first pitch.
That's probably fair. There is one part of the Chiefs offense. You and I agree. It sounded like Ross Tucker, who joined us yesterday, agreed. Nate Taylor agreed on Tuesday. Sunday was the best they've played on offense all season. That's the best Patrick Mahomes has looked all season. One thing that really stood out to me that if I'm going to say, hey, how can this offense flirt with the top 10? Look, I don't think they're a top 5 offense anymore. They're missing too many key players at too many key spots to do that. But how do they flirt with top 10, right? How do they become an effective offense week in and week out? I thought we saw the first glimpse of that yesterday or on Sunday. And even though none of them were completed, the continued and now I would say almost forced in a good way attempts to get the ball to Xavier Worthy deep did not go unnoticed by me. If you look at his stat line, you'd be like, well, he was fine. I guess he had 25 yards? Oh, no. They threw to him on back-to-back deep passes on 2 different drives. Both could have been called pass interference. One was, so we know it had a direct impact on the game. They threw to him another time. It was a little short of that. They have started to force feed the deep balls to Xavier Worthy, and I think that's what's making the middle of the field easier later in that game where you have to start respecting it if they're going to throw it down that way to Worthy 3 times a game, 4 times a game, right?
There's no doubt that if you're going to have even the opportunity to stretch the field and you are able to take that shot a couple times a game, there's a very good chance with his speed that a defender is going to hold or pass interfere, and you're going to get that call. And we saw that. You got to have the protection with your offensive line to have the time for that play to develop. That's the other part of this equation. You got to make sure Patrick Mahomes has to have time to
Pressure
wait.
Rate's still been okay this year.
Yeah,
It's
so
been better than league average.
If he's given time, then yeah, they're going to have an opportunity a couple times a game to take shots. You hope to connect, but as you said, even if you don't, you're probably getting at least one of those called. I mean, I'm not comparing Worthy to this next player I'm about to mention, but I was watching the London game, Jets-Vikings, on Sunday morning, and you guys probably were watching Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson. In the second half, I think he had only 1 or 2 catches. But there were probably 3 and 2 drive holding or PI calls that he drew. Now, again, that's Justin Jefferson. My point being is you don't have to catch the football to have a huge impact on the play.
Correct.
If you're going to draw a flag. And that's what Xavier Worthy was able to do.
Multiple times.
Well,
he got one of the flags, but he could have easily drawn 2. And so I like the insistence to do it. I think there should be 3 times a game when you tell the defense, we're throwing it down to him really deep. Now, look, eventually they just put 2 guys on him all the time. Well, then I guess you can't do it. Oh, no. But that means 2 guys are on him all the time, which means the safety is abandoning the other side of the field multiple times a game. And that's when those deep crossers to Justin Watson work, those underneath stuff to Juju Smith-Schuster work. You could fool him in the screen game. But for a few weeks at the very least, you got to tempt them into it a little bit. I thought it opened things up for the offense quite a bit, and yet it had a positive impact that he was near making multiple plays. And honestly, it is. If he doesn't get pass interfered both times, probably makes one of those catches. He got interfered with both times. One of them they called. But if he probably makes one if they don't pass interfere him. That's typically how it works. And so that just feels like a really important part of their offense going forward, especially because you and I and all of us are going to desperately be watching the growth of Xavier Worthy. Because last year, all they added was McCole Hardman. They didn't really add to a wide receiver unit that wasn't very good. They just waited for Rashee Rice to develop into a monster. I don't know, because of the injuries they have this year, if they can just wait for Xavier Worthy to develop into a monster. I feel more desperate about it this year than last year, but maybe that's because I now know what Rashee Rice was when healthy for this team. But over the next 3 weeks, find out. You don't have to trade for anybody for 3 weeks. Find out everything you can find out about Xavier Worthy in the next 3 weeks. That way you're making an informed decision.
Yeah, I would love to see the continued development. I think we will. I don't really – I said this with the Juju production as well, Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't care if he has 2 more 100-yard games. I still think they need to trade for a receiver. It's not about –
Worthy has 2 more 100, because then you're taking the health factor out of it.
Yeah.
And instead you're saying they have an emerging young star at wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge boost. Maybe it changes the degree, but I don't think they should look at any of that and say, we don't need wide receiver help.
Sure.
Does that mean they go and get someone that's not going to be as, fun and flashy for the fan base? Sure. They typically, let's be real, when they've invested, that's why even the Tyreek Hill thing you brought up, I laughed, because they really, other than when they've drafted, they typically have not gone out and spent either a ton of money on wide receiver or given up significant draft capital. Hell, the biggest draft capital they've given up was for Kadarius Toney. Yeah, like that's the biggest draft capital they've given up for a wide receiver, other than drafting the guy directly, as in Xavier Worthy in the first round. But you know what I'm saying? At the trade deadline stuff, it's not typically a market they get all that aggressive in. We hear a lot of rumors, a lot of rumblings. That applies for every team in the NFL.
Odell and Devontae, and
even though I think Devontae Adams is definitely getting traded this year, just not to Kansas City. I think it's pretty clear where he's going.
I just think the Chiefs get mentioned with bigger names that they don't typically land.
Well, when you're in the middle of a dynasty, anytime a veteran's available, the Chiefs are always going to get brought up. Other than the quarterback position, every single veteran that might be available will always somehow be linked. Well, Kansas City's got like the second best odds to land said player. Yeah, because they're all in because of where they're at as an organization. They're trying to three-peat. So I get it. Any player we hear in 2 weeks that, hell, even I think with Kareem Hunt, maybe not as much, but if a running back was available, the Chiefs.
Before Kareem Hunt, it would have been a slam dunk, probably.
I think so. Reminder, coming up at 2 o'clock today. So when we get off the air, you want to come by our station, 7000 Squibb Road, 96.5 The Fan parking lot. We've got some playoff-themed T-shirts. We did a T-shirt drop yesterday. The guys for the morning show at 10 o'clock were handing those out. Those went away pretty quickly, a half hour or so. We've got 100 more of these playoff-themed shirts thanks to our friends at DM Injury Law. And as we said earlier, I think the shirt is pretty fitting for today, for what's on the line, which is the Royals trying to avoid being eliminated and having their season come to an end. The shirt is the quote from Bobby. We didn't come this far just to come this far.
I think he still feels that way.
Absolutely.
And I'm wearing the jersey from the other quote. Bobby, again, has been dropping some very good Royals lines. The boys are playing some ball. We didn't come this far just to come this far. Let's earn it. We'd love to give you a free T-shirt. 2 o'clock, as Gold mentioned, maximum 2 per car, 1 per person in the car. You can't come yourself and ask for 2. Mm-hmm. Those are per the, if you got a problem, take it up with Spec. Although, I feel like he had a long work day yesterday. Maybe just take it easy on him and take your free shirt, okay? Just be nice to Spec. He didn't do anything to you today, okay? He's just trying to offer you a free T-shirt. Coming up, 2 o'clock. We're going to help hand them out, I assume?
We are.
Great.
So please come as early as possible. Be ready. And then, just come as early as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Come right at 2 o'clock.
Come right at 2, and let's hand out these shirts, baby.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I want to get them in the hands of the people before they head out to the K.
Uh-huh. All right, up next, we'll get to what's trending, and then we'll talk some more Chiefs football with Danon Hughes, former Chiefs wide receiver. He's, of course, part of the Chiefs radio network right here on 96.5 The Fan. We'll ask him about Xavier Worthy and the opportunities down the field, and does he agree that even with Juju Smith-Schuster's production, that they still need to go out and find another receiver? That's next here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Calling all Kansas City football fans to downtown Las Vegas. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for the ultimate game day getaway. Huddle up at Overhang Bar with 96.5 The Fan for our pregame tailgates on Fridays with drink specials and giveaways, including a pair of game day tickets. Then catch all the action at the world's largest sportsbook or lounge in the center of it all at America's favorite place to watch football, Stadium Swim, featuring 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. To book your Huddle Up experience, visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
Kansas City, it's Sean Barber. You know there's nothing easier than to enjoy watching the Chiefs with some wings and an ice-cold Bud Light. And Buffalo Wild Wings is serving up both for every game, all season long. Join me at Buffalo Wild Wings, located off I-70 and Little Blue Parkway in Independence, Friday, October 11th. I'll be there from 6 to 8 p.m., celebrating the back-to-back Super Bowl champ while eating some wings and drinking $5 Bud Lights. Nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
For more, go to 965thefan.com. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm broadcasting live from Hy-Vee today in Mission, Kansas. We're on Mart Way. Come by and say hello, because Thursday is one of the best days to visit Hy-Vee, because it's steak dinner day. I love steak dinner day because you're going to get a $10 8-ounce steak with garlic mashed potatoes and green beans. It's the best price for the best steak in town, and it happens every Thursday at Hy-Vee. Plus, Hy-Vee is your one-stop shop to get everything you need for Chiefs game days, like party trays, take-and-bake pizzas, fresh dips, and Chiefs decorated baked goods. And if you come by Hy-Vee and check out their huge selection of official Chiefs accessories and apparel, you'll be able to take care of the whole family with shirts, sweatshirts, hats, scarves, paper goods, party decorations, and so much more. So come by Hy-Vee today. We're broadcasting until 1 o'clock in Mission, Kansas, over on Mart Way, and get that $10 steak dinner. An 8-ounce steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and green beans, all for $10, all at Hy-Vee. See us today.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Kansas football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws an awesome block so his teammate can score instead. If this happens, MGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Everyone knows the most exciting part of football is the score. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
There are so many things I love about fall weather. The crisp air, the changing leaves. It's all so magical. Until my kids catch a chill outside. That's where Kohl's comes in, with cozy layers, warm jeans, and more. I found all the styles my kids need when the seasons change. Plus, I got 20% off with a coupon and earned Kohl's Cash. So here's my style forecast. Prep better for fall weather at Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end October 20th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Here we are, smack dab in the political season. A time to take pause and scrutinize the integrity of the spoken word. Well, here's a Lennox offer that needs no scrutiny at all. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing now offers up to $1,200 in rebates on qualifying Lennox home comfort systems and up to 60 months 0% financing with approved credit. That's up to $1,200 back and 0% interest just to make life easier. Airman here to remind you that Midwest was founded in 1962 on a simple premise. Customers actually appreciate being treated with respect. Imagine that. Today, 3 generations later, the same family still owns and operates Midwest, knowing that fads come and go, but integrity never goes out of style. If you are considering a new Lennox system or need service, go to MidwestHeating.com or dial 943-8787. Trust your air to the best. Midwest. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Vanguard is 100% client-owned, serving over 50 million investors
investors every day. Whether you're planning for retirement, putting your kids through college, or saving up for your next adventure, Vanguard can help you set personalized investment goals. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Copyright 2024, The Vanguard Group, Inc. All rights reserved. Vanguard Marketing Corporation Distributor.
Who doesn't love getting something for free? Labor Day deals have arrived at the Home Depot, and right now you can get a free Milwaukee 18-volt extended capacity battery, $159 value, when you buy a select tool. Get longer runtime and more battery life so you can power all your fall projects. Shop Labor Day deals and get a free battery when you buy a select tool at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limit 1 per transactions. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in store and online.
This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Royals baseball. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
What's Trending is brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Of course, number one is that the Royals, Game 4, ALDS, facing elimination without a win tonight against the Yankees. They lost last night, 3-2 to the Royals. Of course, Stanton home run late, the difference. Tonight, though, first pitch a little bit later, an hour later, 7:08. Vern's on Deck show at 6 o'clock here on 96.5 The Fan, and it's going to be Michael Wacha going up against Garrett Cole. Of course, that was the Game 1 matchup back on Saturday.
We learned that it is Vinnie Pasquantino's birthday, who still does not have a hit in the series. You would think that his birthday is obviously going to change that. I don't see any reason to not assume that. The ticket prices for this game are a little bit lower than the game yesterday.
Yes, they are.
So if you were thinking you wanted to go to the game, depending on which secondary ticket seller sites you were looking at, you could currently get in the door cheapest ticket with a seat listed right now on one of the popular sites, $117 before.
That is definitely cheaper than yesterday.
That's about half, at least, probably, than yesterday. So, yeah, significantly cheaper than yesterday. But just if you're getting a sense of where you are, remember, at 2 o'clock today, we're handing out playoff-themed T-shirts. Say we didn't come this far just to come this far. Outside in the parking lot, 7,000 Squibb Road. First 100 people will have a shirt. Next up on What's Trending, the Mets advance into the NLCS with their win last night. Quite the turnaround for the Mets, who tried to buy their World Series last year, fell quite short of that. We're still the number one payroll team in baseball this year. Like they just actually got their value out of Francisco Lindor, who had an MVP-type season if it wasn't for Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers forced Game 5 last night as well. They'll take on the Padres on Friday in L.A. for who goes to meet the Mets. And the Tigers will have a chance today to advance to the ALCS, making them the first team in there, the same as the Yankees have the chance to do it tonight. So the Tigers up 2-1 in that series after 3-0 win yesterday against Cleveland.
Next up on What's Trending, we could, for the first time, see Monday Night Football games flexed this season. You guys might recall last year the rule was in place where if the ESPN wanted to flex Monday Night Football games, they could. It only was used once. That was the Chiefs-Patriots Week 15 game. It was replaced with the Eagles and Seahawks game. So Troy Aikman was on Pardon My Take here recently, and he talked about basically this year and the scheduling, how it's been amazing, but also that flex scheduling could come into play more. Remember, they cannot use it until Week 12. It's a month away, but the league already has its eyes on a game that might get booted. So they're Cleveland at Denver. Aikman said, we're at Denver. Cleveland at Denver may end up being a flex is kind of what it's looking like. So we could have at least one game flexed again this year, something to keep an eye on. And anytime flexing is involved, you got to keep an eye on what it could mean for a Chiefs game because everybody wants the Chiefs. So I haven't looked at Week 13 for the Chiefs. There's the Black Friday game, Raiders at Chiefs. That can't be flexed. So I don't believe the Chiefs would be in play for that particular one. But we'll see if it impacts them later.
Yeah, I mean, it could. Very well could.
Sorry.
Go
I was just going to say November 20th is when they would have to make a decision by.
I mean, fine by me, I guess. I don't care if they flex out the Chiefs game from Monday Night Football game. I don't think they will. Obviously, the Chiefs' next one is against the Bucs. Next up on What's Trending, a large portion of the roof at Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay was ripped off last night amidst Hurricane Milton. There's now a full 360 videos of it. I mean, it's shredded to pieces Whether or not they can repair that in time for the baseball season, that's up for question. You might remember when that happened in New Orleans, it was a couple of years before they went back to play at the Superdome. So we'll see whether or not they'll be able to play baseball in Tampa or if they'll need to find a secondary home in that area for the upcoming baseball season. But it completely destroyed the top of their baseball season or stadium. So we'll see what happens with the Rays.
Yeah, some of the images, devastation down there is pretty jarring to see. And obviously our thoughts to everybody down there. I saw this morning, I think Tom Brady and one of his partners are donating $100,000 to relief efforts down there. I'm sure we'll continue to see that this weekend. I'm sure the NFL usually steps up a little bit, and we'll see if any other celebrities, et cetera, do that as well, because it we all know has a chance, and we've seen the image already to just be completely devastating to the folks down in that area. Lastly, on what's trending, we are less than 2 weeks away from heading out to Las Vegas. We're going to be at Circa Las Vegas, broadcasting live Thursday, Friday, hanging out poolside, stadium swim, world's largest sports book, 143-foot screen, 6 pools. It's going to be a great time. We have a party on Friday night. You need to RSVP. If you're going to be in Vegas,
or you think you might be in Vegas, just RSVP doesn't cost anything.
That's right. RSVP. It's the Chiefs-Raiders weekend out in Vegas. We've got a party on that Friday night. You might as well RSVP, because if you're out there, it's going to get you a free cocktail. It's going to get you entered to win game day tickets. It's going to get you entered to win a day bed if you're out there in Vegas. But yeah, if you're even just contemplating, you haven't booked your flight yet, if you want the link to that, hit us up on social media, at Alex Gold, at Cody B. Tap. We both have already tweeted it out,
or text us, 913-586-7965.
You can text in. We'll send you a link as well. But we're going to be out at Circa Las Vegas in less than 2 weeks.
Would you like me to give me your personal number? Maybe they could text you there.
I would not like that. I love you guys.
913.
I love you guys, but I don't think handing out my cell phone number is a good idea.
What do you think would happen if I did it?
I'd have to get a new number.
Get a new number?
Yes.
You think if I handed out your number one time on the air, you'd have to get a new number?
Yes.
You've had that number since you were like 15.
Yeah, but I would have to get a new number, because there's some of you that would respect it. There's some that probably wouldn't, and there's some that would then sign me up for random crap, and it just would not be good.
Or put it on like a listing on Facebook Marketplace or something.
Yeah. I think it'd be a problem, even for just a random radio host in Kansas City. Not a
so not a prank you would enjoy
celebrity.
Is what you're
No,
saying.
that'd be bad. Please do not do that. What if I put your phone number out? Do you think you'd like it?
I would not get a new number. I would just block people who were jerks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were like somewhat cool, I might text you back every once in a while. Mostly probably just ignore it. But if you're like relatively cool about it and you're just like, hey man, good luck on that hot dog race today, fine. I'll just say thanks, dude.
I don't think that's what it would be. I don't think that's what it would be. You get a lot of, do you have any tickets? You'd get a lot of stop effing singing. You get a lot of stuff, man.
Well, and I would just mute those people and block those people. Wouldn't be that big of a deal.
I wonder if our next guest has changed phone numbers multiple times in his life or not. I'm not sure. Danon Hughes, former Chiefs wide receiver. He is, of course, part of the Chiefs radio network. You hear him here on 96.5 The Fan. He's brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue. I know it's a bye week for you. We'll get to that in a second, Danon. But have you had to switch a number up? At some point in your life due to maybe a variety of reasons.
Actually, no. I've had 2 cell phones or 2 cell phone numbers in my life, and I've had my current one for the last 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years with the same number. That was back. I go back to the days when you could actually pick your cell phone number, and it was not randomly given to you. So yes, it's been a luxury.
Dane, and I'm not trying to date you. I mean, was that like a cell phone that was like in a bag in your car?
Wow.
You plugged into the.
Wow.
30 years, man. That's a long time to have a cell phone. Zach Morris's cell phone.
So I've come full circle. I'm on 2 times around flip phone era. So that was the old flip phone, Nextel, walkie-talkie. Remember those? See, I'm dating myself really right now.
Dana, before we talk about the Chiefs, do or die playoff game situations. You've been in teams that mattered for in college football, in the NFL level. What do you think happens to athletes, or what do you think do they try to avoid letting happen go through their mind when they know today it's very simple? Win a baseball game and you get to keep playing baseball games. Lose and your season is over.
Yeah, I think I've definitely been in this situation before, and I think there's different schools of thought, and it's from a player's perspective, but even more so from coaches, and it may not impact the game as much at the MLB level as it would be in the NFL. but I do know the mindset can be similar, and here's what it is. Don't try to not lose, try to win. Like, it seems simple, but I can tell you from experience, from coaching to playing to being a fan and watching and knowing the games while watching, there are times where coaches and some players consciously or subconsciously make decisions to try not to lose. And that's usually when you lose. It's usually the time when the players go for the win where you see that come to fruition. So, yeah, I've been in that situation. I've had sleepless nights for months afterwards wondering, man, that decision seemed like we were trying not to lose instead of win. Oh, that missed opportunity, that missed catch, that missed swing of the bat. Was I trying to walk versus trying to get a hit? Was I trying to make something happen versus trying not to make a mistake? And I think that's where we are with the Royals. Heck, that's where we've been with the Chiefs in the past, where you can look back at some of the games that didn't go in our favor and wonder, man, were we trying not to lose this game, or did we really just go for the win?
We know the Chiefs, Danon, obviously thrilled to be 5-0 heading into a bye week. That doesn't get any better than that. But it is an early bye week. I know they have injuries, but they're not the injuries that are like, oh, this guy's coming back in a week or two, so it's good. They're more long-term injuries. Do you think that the early bye week is something the players not really liking right now?
I think the players love bye weeks no matter where they come.
Fair.
There's an optimum time. I would like to say that if things are going great, week 10 to week 12 is usually pretty cool, especially if you know you're going to have a stretch in the postseason. But this early, I think there are guys out there that may have been battling through some nagging injuries that love the timing of it now. The only downfall or detriment I see is that now you're in a situation from week 7 through, week 23, that you're going on this long stretch. You hope to have that number 1 seed for the playoffs, but if you don't, you got to take a deep breath right now, and you won't have the time to exhale. If we achieve our goal, you won't have the time to exhale until mid-February.
When you look at what the Chiefs did on Sunday, Dane, and the consensus now, so I don't think I need to ask you, is that that's the best game they've played on offense. But I think the question we should be asking ourselves at this point is this defense better than last year's? Or is it equally as good as last year's? I think we all kind of just assumed a little half step backwards might exist for a team that might have had the best or the second best defense in the NFL last year. It does not appear like that's the case at all.
Yeah, I think the surprising part is that they picked up right where they left off. Now, whether they are better or the same, I think there still needs to be more of a sample size. Give me until the second quarter of the season is over, and then we can make that declaration. I mean, we got the San Francisco 49ers coming up. If they're fully healthy and they have incentive, obviously, with us beating them in the Super Bowl and then having to go out there, there's a test. Tampa can look pretty strong. And then, when you get through at Buffalo, I feel like maybe by Thanksgiving we will definitely be able to say whether this team is better or this defense is better than last year, but they're definitely not worse. I think that's a testament to Steve Spagnuolo. I mean, he's usually had defenses that were relatively slow starters, and that's not the case. And it's so apropos for them to be in a position where things with the injuries, with the inefficiencies on offense, that we're calling on the defense, consistently calling on them to pick us up, and they're coming through week after week. I think that's one of the special stories, and it might be, I don't know if that's going to be a huge chapter in this book of this three-peat run, but it definitely warrants it should be.
We're talking to Danon Hughes here on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for the Chiefs, and after the bye week, you'll hear Mitch Holthus, Danon Hughes, Josh Klingler, Dan Israel right here on the Chiefs Radio Network. We were talking about Xavier Worthy, and I thought it was a good example in that game where even if the stats aren't there and you're not connecting on that 50-yard pass, his ability to draw that pass interference penalty down the field, that's the other benefit of having him. Do you think that is something that kind of gets lost at times?
that should be a catch. Now, obviously, you're speaking to a former wide receiver, but that should count for something because it's treated at the NFL level like a catch. But I will say this. How many times have you seen over the course of history, even if it's a short portion of history, last 10 years, where maybe first round or second round picks at the receiver position haven't been utilized the best, maybe not have gotten the production out of them that you thought you would get out of a top round pick because of the circumstances or because of the narrow-mindedness of the coordinators and the head coach and how they use them. Let's just line this guy up outside the numbers. Oh, he's a slot receiver, so we're just going to line him up inside the slot and hope for the best. And then you come into a situation now with Matt Nagy and Andy Reid where he's got 3 touchdowns and 2 of them on the ground, out of the backfield. And the last one's literally him positioned in the backfield, not a jet sweep. So I give them all the credit in the world of not just saying we got a 4-2-1 receiver, let's just line him outside and we'll get a pass interference. I still think he needs to get more physical downfield when the ball's thrown up in the air, maybe learn how to use his body to push off. There was one where he went up to try to jump for, and I thought maybe if he'd have just pushed off a little bit and caught the ball on the outside of his shoulder, like we were taught as receivers to use your body and positioning on deep balls, that would have been a great play. Now, I'm not going to, knock him for that. That's just part of the growth process. But even while growing in that aspect, we have an offense that's utilizing him in great opportunities otherwise, with the running game, with the jet sweeps, and then obviously withdrawing those kind of penalties downfield. So I give these guys credit for being creative and not feeling like they got a pigeonhole a 4-2-1 receiver.
Danon, were you more surprised that Juju Smith-Schuster or Kareem Hunt were able to turn back the clock on Sunday?
Juju for sure. Juju for sure. And how about this? Like, when you get Jody Fortson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kareem Hunt, like you're getting cast-offs that were here before. Maybe you can wonder, okay, if they capitalize, I don't know if that's the right terminology, if they capitalize on free agency or opportunities away from this organization. And those organizations not only are losers, but they couldn't figure out how to use them. And then we take them back and we figure out right away how to use them. There's something to be said about Brett Veach, the scouting department, Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, because we're talking about the offensive guys that we are, if you are their former coach or the GMs of those teams that went and got them in free agency, or the scouting departments that thought that they would be good fits, and then you let them go, only to see them flourish back where they came from, where you liked them before you took them. There's some dynamic there that's just totally entertaining to me, that you can see guys resurrect their careers on a championship team. We're not talking about an 0-16 team. We're talking about championship teams that allowed you to go away in free agency just to embrace you back and then pick up right where you left off. It's just an amazing thing to me. And I will say also, it's a note for a lot of young kids out there, whether you're in high school, in college, going through transfer portals, or if you're free agents that are listening or you get a chance to hear this, never burn your bridges. Never burn your bridges. You never know where things can come full circle, and those guys are a testament to it. But the surprise definitely is Juju.
I was say that. Never burn your bridge. That applies to non-sports as well, Dan. I think anybody can take that advice. That's for sure. Bye week for you. Are you going up to Iowa? You guys got the Huskies coming in. What's the plan for the bye week?
I originally thought about heading up to Hawkeye Land, but I actually have my daughter's baby shower. So I got some family in town. So it'll be grandchild number 4 due in December.
Congrats.
Shout out to my daughter Savvy and her husband Mario. So maybe I'll get to play some golf or something afterwards, but I'm the host this weekend for a baby shower.
There you go. You're going to be awfully busy then. Sounds good, Danon. Appreciate it, man. We'll check in next week.
All right, fellas.
There you go. That's Danon Hughes, former Chiefs wide receiver, part of the Chiefs radio network. And after the bye week, you'll hear him once again on 96.5 The Fan when the Chiefs start the, again, not almost like second half of the season, but in a way for them it is because of the early bye.
It's only five games, so it's not really half. But
I know it. Our conversations with Danon, though, are brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue. A reminder coming up in about 20 minutes. We'll get to the random question of the day. Also at 1 o'clock today, it's a Fantasy Football Thursday. We'll have our guy Paul Charchian of Guillotine Leagues and FantasyLife.com join us. We'll get his perspective on Thursday Night Football tonight, who to start fantasy-wise, and also a little bit about the running back situation in the NFL. There's a couple backs that are performing at a very high level. How should you set your lineup, that kind of stuff. We'll get to that with Paul Charchian in just a bit.
Can't wait. Obviously, when we talk about like the wide receivers, Juju was the bigger surprise to us too. Running backs just tend to have just reappear from time to time, but that certainly makes a difference. I was asking him at the very beginning about like the try not to win, try not to lose stuff, because one of the questions I almost asked Vern to start was, "Hey, do you play for more runs early, right? Knowing that you can't score, like if you get runners on first and second in the third inning and it's the bottom of the order, normally you wouldn't bunt in that situation. Do you have Isbell or Garcia bunt in that situation to try to like force some action, get some runs on the board, get the lead early, try to maintain that?" But that's kind of doing what Danon's saying. That's playing not to lose. Well, I better keep this game close. I better get some runs now. I don't know if they're coming later. So if that's the case, well then Danon's probably right. Play the way that got you there. Use the pitchers that got you there. I think benching Vinnie in a lot of ways, like where Dusty was asking, I think that's playing to lose. He's been one of your best hitters all season. He's in a mini, I guess I would call it, postseason slump. And as a result of that, I'm not worried. He's been one of the best hitters for a reason. I assume he will come through with hits at the important time tonight. And if he doesn't, well, he's one of the guys who got you there. And I'm not playing to lose tonight. As Danon said, you got to play to win this baseball game. I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Well, listen to what Michael Massey had to say in the clubhouse yesterday. We were in there after the game and talking about, they've been in these spots and basically like they don't have any other choice but to find a way to get out of this spot that they are in, which is, of course, facing elimination.
Just more of the same. Obviously, we can't change what we're doing. It's gotten us this far. And, lost by one run. It was a really close game. And, they had a big swing and made plays and felt like we competed and just, got to make some more plays than we did today. I mean, we got confidence in everybody, in this clubhouse. Guys have been doing it all year, so, we have a ton of trust in Michael and, in the bullpen as well to be able to follow. So, just got to go out and play a good game tomorrow and get back to what we do.
That last part was about Michael Wacha. We're going to talk about him here, guys, in 6 minutes or so, and what the approach should be for maybe Q with the starter tonight and also the bullpen. But yeah, Michael Massey said it. I mean, there's truth to it. It's like we won X amount of games for a reason. Throughout the season, we talked about Bobby Witt Jr. being an MVP all season for a reason. Yes. We talked about Salvador Perez, of course, being a future Hall of Famer for a reason. Vinny, a near 100 RBI guy for a reason. All that is true. So yeah, you're still going to look at them to get you the win tonight. I understand what the numbers are. We've all acknowledged it like that. If we're just simplifying this entire series, I mean, when you have that combination, Pasquantino, Perez, 4 for 37 with 13 strikeouts, that's not good enough. That's why you're in a spot you're in. If they're going to win tonight, my guess is one of those guys is going to have to come up with a big hit. It's great to have Tommy Pham, who his numbers are good against Garrett Cole. He's been a huge asset to this team. It's great. Michael Massey, my goodness.
He's been a playoff performer.
You want to talk about a guy stepping up for the other guys. That's all great, and that would be great to continue. But, man, you feel like it's going to have to be Witt, Pasquantino, or Perez tonight. But yeah, Michael Massey, his postseason numbers suddenly. 368 batting average, 429 on base, 526 slug. Up next, let's talk more about this Royals team, though. A little bit more of that conversation. And how do we think Q's going to handle a do-or-die game with Michael Wacha on the mound?
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Obviously, you've been seeing extreme weather in the news, and there was extreme weather in Kansas City over the summer. There was that hail that came through. Century Roofing can still take a look at that for you and find out if you need a roof replacement, if you need roof repairs. They offer free estimates on those things to see exactly where the health of your roof is. Sometimes it's just good to know. We had them look at it because I'm like, well, it seems like it's in pretty good shape. I'm not hearing random drips necessarily, but then we get up there and you find out that there are repairs needed because there are some vulnerable parts of your house. And if you take care of some of those small needs now, you might be able to avoid the big problems. And look, if you need a full roof replacement, they'll take care of you over at Century Roofing because they've been working in Kansas City for 34 years. Voted best of Johnson County for 3 straight years. Those free estimates, that's so you can find out what they can do for you on the roof end. Century Roofing has been working here so long, and you know that they're not fly-by-night, offering you a warranty they might not stand behind. No. They're not going to do that. That's why they continue to install over 30,000 roofs in the greater Kansas City area. Been doing it since 1990. Again, they offer free roof replacement and repair estimates. So if you've got those needs, make sure to reach out. Schedule your estimate today from KC-based and female-owned Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength. Go to centuryroofingkc.com or tell them that Cody sent you.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm broadcasting live from the best place on earth. It's Hy-Vee in Mission, Kansas. We're off of Mart Way today, and we're celebrating because it's Thursday, and that means it's steak dinner day at Hy-Vee. For just $10, you can get an 8-ounce steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and green beans. It's the best price for the best steak in town every Thursday at Hy-Vee. And don't forget, Hy-Vee is your one-stop shop to get everything you need for Chiefs game day. You can pick up a Kingdom meat bundle with 4 chicken breasts, 4 pork chops, 4 brats, and 4 chuck patties for just $30, plus a 10-cent per gallon fuel discount. And speaking of fuel discounts, Score the Savings is back at Hy-Vee. Win or lose, the more points the Chiefs score, the more you save at Hy-Vee. If the Chiefs score 35 points, you'll earn 35 cents in Fuel Saver rewards with a $35 purchase the day after the game. So come see us till 1 o'clock today at Hy-Vee in Mission, Kansas. It's $10 steak day, only at Hy-Vee.
This year, FanDuel is giving you a chance to win big every Thursday night with FanDuel Squares. It's the same Super Bowl squares that you've known for years. This time only way better. That's because your numbers aren't just randomly assigned. You get to pick them yourself. You can pick as many as you like. You'll get to see the odds beforehand, and you can bet them live during the game. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/CDOT to bet on your squares. Plus, if you're new to FanDuel, you can bet $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel is home of some of your favorite boosts, player props, and now FanDuel Squares. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Gates Barbecue is sure to please your palate for lunch or dinner. Gates sauces and seasonings can be ordered online at gatesbarbecue.com or stop by any of their 5 locations and bring Gates sauces and seasonings home today. Whether a family get-together or entertaining friends from out of town, it all goes best with Gates Barbecue. And nothing says Kansas City barbecue like the great flavors of Gates Barbecue, a Kansas City tradition.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most. Like dinner with loved ones. Letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at bluekc.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
It takes a lot to prepare for game day as a dedicated fan, and preparing the perfect tailgate meal might be most important of all. That's why Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise is the MVP. Hellmann's Mayonnaise is the secret to bring out the rich and creamy taste to all your game day dishes, from buffalo chicken dip to your favorite sub sandwich and everything in between. So give it a try, and mayo game day be delicious with Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. Shop at your local Walmart, Kroger, or grocery store, and add some extra deliciousness to your game day dishes this football season.
Arvest Bank, believing in the power of serving others.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest, we believe.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Coming up in about 8 minutes, we'll get to the random question of the day. Also, 1 o'clock hour, Paul Charchian, GuillotineLeagues.com, FantasyLife.com. Get you set for Week 6 fantasy football. Get the lineup set. Also, it's been a while since we've done it. We will do a Snitch line Thursday, right around 1:20 or so.
Might have seen something in the game last night, like a guy in a Lucha Libre mask trying to fight a child.
Well, not a child, a gentleman that had a kid that the husband and his wife were sitting there with the child, and the husband looked like Garrett Cole's brother. And yeah, anyway, we'll get to the Snitch line. 913-586-7965. Anything you need to get off your chest. Yeah, you saw it, something going on at the workplace, coworkers, all that, around 1:20.
Family members.
Text line and phone calls are an option there. Yeah, maybe you saw anything happen at the game. Cody, Dusty, and I were there. Maybe you saw something one of us did. I don't know. I don't know what anybody did.
We are in public view.
Something.
We're sitting right out there in
maybe you saw Drew driving down the highway in his sports car. You never know.
Maybe he was in a Cookie Monster.
Maybe that was him.
Speeding down the highway. You never know that. Plus, in the 1 o'clock hour, I will be singing Pasquantino live. It is his birthday, and he needs a hit. And the last time we did Pasquantino live is when he really needed a hit in the early portion of the season, so it's time to bring it back.
I will, full disclosure, tell you, yesterday I said you should sing one. You forgot, and they lost. So I think you deserve some of the brunt of the blame as well.
I'll take.
If you're going to take
10%.
credit for when it works, I got to say you had an opportunity to sing and you didn't. I also will say I was contacted today by the individual that holds the pass to block your song from the Cody Gold Garage
He's going to block me?
Well, here's
today.
I told you.
Of all days?
I want to give you full disclosure. He reached out. I said not today. I said not today. He asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "I wouldn't block it today. Not in the middle of the playoff run."
I appreciate your.
Everybody's a little stressed out today. Brink of elimination. We need good vibes in this city today. We don't need to block the song. You want to sing? Fine, sing the damn song.
I think there's a little bit of risk in that, though, because if it works and Vinny plays well and they win.
No, but that's the agreement. Cody doesn't need to sing on Friday because it works today. No.
I was going to say, I think Cody's going to have that temptation.
Then that gets blocked on Friday.
Then he's allowed to use the pass. I got it. That's
Someone
fair.
says, Drew has a sports car. Yes.
Yeah, I'm whipping the McLaren, man.
He just won a new racing wheel. Maybe he's
he
been
did.
boosting sports cars in his free time.
I wish I had a sports
People are accusing the Snitch line hasn't even opened. People said Drew's out there selling certain things to them.
Hold on a second.
That's what the Snitch line's about.
Snitch line's about me.
We'll get to that. We'll get to it. We'll get to it, guys. Relax.
You're not snitching. You're capping.
Come
on now.
We'll get to it in just a little bit. But we mentioned Michael Wacha. He's obviously starting tonight. This will be his second start in this series against Garrett Cole. And because it is a do-or-die game, even if he's rolling, man, I don't think you're seeing many innings from him tonight. I think we've clearly seen how Q's going to manage this thing. And knowing that Urseg did not pitch yesterday, Urseg probably is available for 2+ innings if needed this evening. All hands on deck. I hope Wacha's cruising through 4, but either way, I would be almost surprised if Michael Wacha finishes 5 innings tonight. It doesn't have to mean that he's not pitching well. I just think if it's the 5th inning again and back to the top of the order and it's Aaron Judge and there's a runner on, that might be the spot to go to Chris Bubich or Urseg right away.
I would be, and I've told you I wanted them to extend time with Lugo, extend time with Reagans. I was willing to go probably an extra inning on both of those guys in each of the last 2 starts. Now, I didn't burn them. The bullpen guys directly after that. Bubich didn't give that home run until the 8th. Certainly, Lugo wouldn't have still been pitching in the 8th, and Bubich would have been one of the top 3 arms out of the pen, so I don't worry about that necessarily. But, yeah, I'd have a pretty quick hook on Michael Wacha tonight. Here's what I want out of Michael Wacha. At least 4 innings, leaving the game tied or up. I just want him to keep him in the game. That is his job tonight. They got enough bullpen arms, enough fresh arms, a day off tomorrow before Saturday, all those things that go with it, that just get him to the 4th inning, keep this thing competitive like this series has consistently been from every start, and then just hope that you are the team that gets the big hit versus the other team. Our friend Jake Eisenberg had just put out some stats.
Yeah.
Other than the walks, this has been a nearly identical series offensively, right? I mean, 11 runs each, a few more hits for the Royals, 1 more home run for the Yankees, a ton more walks, similar strikeout numbers. The Royals are a little better with runners in scoring position than the Yankees. The Yankees have been downright dreadful.
Yeah.
The Royals have been 6 for 21. But, I mean, it speaks to the closeness of the series.
It does. The 22 walks to 7, everybody immediately see, the umps are effing us over. There is some of it to blame on the umps. Also, can we, I know we hate to do this. Can we also acknowledge the Yankees have adjusted? The Yankees have been really patient at the plate.
I think it's easy to be patient when you're getting more balls that are strikes being called balls.
I'm not saying it's cut and dry one way or the other. I think there's like anything. There's always more nuance to the conversation. I think immediately you see 22 walks to 7 and you assume, oh my gosh, they're not calling any strikes or any balls on them. We've gone over the numbers earlier on in the show. I'm sure we'll get back to them in the 1 o'clock hour too. As I said, we can acknowledge the umps. It's factored the series, sure. It's not why the Royals are facing elimination tonight, though. I just refuse to believe that. Everybody has the right to their opinion. You guys can text in as you did earlier. I think a lot of you dislagree with me on that.
Some people agree with you. It's probably split.
I don't like it when we're talking the NFL games where we make fun of other fan bases for blaming the officials and they get all the calls or they're out to get us. Yeah. And we crack jokes about that. It's a loser mentality thing. It's what people do when their team is losing. And so, yeah, it's been interesting to watch this series, but ultimately the numbers from a couple guys in the order and other aspects have, to me, been a much bigger deal than an umpire last night.
I'll say every decision in the postseason comes with a heightened amount of this. Because the very first thing I see on the text line is, hey, why didn't Q leave in Singer for another inning with multiple hangers coming up?
I mean hitters, right?
Probably.
Hitters, yeah.
That's fine. He was probably, I thought maybe eventually he was talking about okay, multiple hitters come up. So here's the question. I sent out a tweet that just said, Brady Singer is coming in to face Aaron Judge with the bases loaded. And I'll be honest with you.
We were surprised.
It is just social. I was surprised, but it's just social media. Of the 100 responses I probably got to that tweet before Singer had thrown a pitch, 98 of them were like, this is ludicrous. He's trying to lose them this series. I wish for death. That was the general consensus. Then, after Singer had gotten the out, and eventually a run was given up in the an inning or whatever following, they're like, what the hell? You're not going to leave Singer in for more? I'm like, wait, just real quick. So half of you think I'm on the ledge because Singer might pitch. And the other half of you are like, well, he should have gone 3 innings practically for this team. Relax. The truth is, he called in Singer. He got the out. That one worked. Bubic, he gave up 1 run. But like when I go back through the factors, sometimes the bullpen's going to give up a singular run. In 5 innings pitched, I'm not going to lose my mind because Bubic gave up 1 run. He managed the bullpen pretty well last night. Bullpen did not implode.
Thought so.
Bullpen did its job. That is a tough Yankees lineup, and the bullpen did a nice job. They didn't even use Urseg, and they did a nice job. He pulled the string correctly on Brady Singer, calling him in there against Aaron Judge. He got the strikeout. We all got to move on with their life. But if Singer had given up that hit, you would have been asking him to go multiple innings then, would you? Right? And so that's the problem inevitably with bullpen decisions
always
and
happens.
the heightened part of postseason baseball. I was fine with them not. I thought they might leave Singer in because the game was 2-2, and I knew they were going to need maybe extended innings out of the bullpen. That was more why I thought Singer might go longer, but he didn't. And, they had other guys available who could have given them length, like Lorenzen or Lynch or others if they needed that.
But that's what you said, though. I think you have to expect that again tonight, whether it's Singer or somebody else, that you're going to have guys come in and face the minimum that's required at times as a reliever. And they're going to, we joked earlier, like if there was a set game time tonight and you took the over-under, take the over on the game time. I mean, both teams in an elimination game for the Royals, it's not an elimination game for the Yankees, but they have a chance to, of course, wrap up the series. You're going to see, I think, some more moves, shorter leashes across the board, truly even more matchup driven than what we've seen to this point, and if a move works, nobody second guesses it. If it doesn't, people second guess it. Doesn't mean that there's not a conversation to be around certain decisions. But I mean, this series has been the prime example of ultimately how we view managers. It's just simply, did it work or not? that is it. Like there's more conversation on why the logic behind a said move was, but most of the time, this series has given us the perfect example of how people view a manager is just simply, did the player execute or not? It doesn't mean the logic was bad, but when the player execute, we think the manager is a genius, and when he doesn't, we think it's a dumb decision.
2 days ago, when nobody wanted Garrett Hampson to start, 2 days ago, he came through with multiple hits. Genius decision.
Michael Garcia, people were wondering why he at one point in time was back in the lineup. He gets 4 hits.
Last night he starts Adam Frazier, doesn't do anything. And you're like, why? Why did you do this? Why did you put Adam Frazier in here? It's a difficult line to draw, and what I think you should know about Q, which I think has been consistently true, is he said it on his opening press conference. He'll play for the edge. He will play for if I think this helps us win, instead of 50-50, 51-49, he's going to do that. Jake, by the way, had sent back a tweet on those stats he'd sent out earlier and pointing out the one thing that is unsimilar about those stats, the walks. 5 of the Yankees' 11 runs scored in this series have been guys who got on base via the walk. So just a quick tip if they were taking advice from me tonight, I would suggest one thing: walk less hitters. I don't know. I know that sounds way simpler when I just say it that way, because it's way simpler than that. But I would simply just walk less people. I think that would actually be a good strategy tonight for the Royals, is to simply just walk less batters.
Yeah, I think also just scoring more runs too. That would be that's a great approach. Why aren't they doing that? Someone tell them, please. I mean, sometimes Oh my goodness. A reminder.
I think Bobby should get more hits.
Yes, so do I.
Vinny.
I mean, come on. How come it's not happening?
I think they should all go 4 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, I think why are they purposely going 4 for 37? And I think they should try to get hits.
Do you think the Royals win tonight if Salvi, Vinny, and Bobby all go 4 for 4?
I do. I do.
They better if they go 4 for 4.
Yeah.
My God, that'd be a depressing way to go out. No way. Not on Vinny's birthday. That's not how they're going to do it.
I think they're winning.
Someone said Frazier got
they're
a hit
winning
and scored a
tonight.
run. I forgot about that.
I think they're winning
There
tonight.
you go.
We'll give our final thoughts in the 1 o'clock hour. But Drew, let's get to it.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Over on the text line, 913-586-7965. Of course, you can hit us up on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We live stream the show. Take your comments over there. Guy over there saying you're ducking him. It's not Paul anymore.
Who's ducking who?
Different guy. Someone over on... Once again, YouTube is worried that Drew is ducking the
Are
chats.
you, Drew? Why are you ducking the people?
He's out of the comments.
Why are you ducking?
He's ducking people.
I'm not ducking anybody. I'm not addressing rumors, evidently, or text messages.
We'll get to the Snitch line at 120. We'll address them. We will. We will address your own rumors at 120.
That's the way the Snitch line works.
Snitch line. Everybody's on. I mean, nobody's off limits.
You can either confirm or deny.
Shout out to Micah in Denver. I'm not ghost. I normally respond a lot to
so
you,
we'll,
Micah.
we'll get to that. 120 Snitch line opens back up.
No, I did not find an auto-tune app for Cody. That was a question that was asked.
Yeah, and live performance of Pasquantino.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for everybody.
What's the random question?
Let's hope I remember the lyrics. So the random question I have for you today is actually related to the game last night. I was honestly a little surprised that with the Royals still to bat in the bottom of the ninth inning, I saw with my own eyes people leaving the stadium. So the question I have for you today is, under what circumstances do you think is okay to leave a postseason game early? Yeah. I'll just, look, it wasn't a majority. It definitely wasn't a majority. 90.
Yeah, it's 5 or 10% of fans.
Yeah, 95% of fans were in their seats cheering on the boys in blue, waiting to see if the walk-off was going to happen for the Royals. But for the 5% of you who were leaving, what are the circumstances in which you think you are allowed to leave a playoff game early? Does it have to be a family emergency? Does it have to be that, you have young children?
Yeah.
What is the time in which you will excuse an early postseason leave time?
My guess is for some of them, it's a Wednesday night. Maybe they took their son or daughter, their first Royals playoff game, and what a cool experience that is. And it was time for them to get home. They didn't want to sit in traffic for an hour. We learned a lot of people were sitting in traffic for an hour. Their kids needed to get to bed. I think everybody understands that if that's the case. Otherwise, let's take the kid angle out of this, to me, it's got to be you're down, 4+ runs, and it's the ninth inning, and you're just trying to beat traffic kind of thing. You and I come at this from a different perspective. It's probably not fair for me to judge. I mean, for what we do for a living, it's a little bit different in how we view. Well,
you've gone to plenty of games for other sports as a fan.
Yeah,
like if you were to KC current playoff match, if they're down 5-0, you allowed to leave early? See, that's the other question.
Yeah,
look, it's a playoff game and they're down 11-0. You good to go?
The last current game I went to, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So the last current game I was with other people, and we all just they were up, they're clearly going to win, and it was the 88th minute. We're like, we don't need to stay for stoppage time, so we left in the 88th minute. They were up 3 goals.
Okay. In a winning, that's what I'm saying.
In a non-playoff game.
If the Royals are up 11-0 in a non-clinching game.
But tonight, right? I'll tell you though, I think tonight it is emergency or young kids. Otherwise, they would have to be down 5-6 runs in the 8th or 9th inning for me to understand why you would leave a game like this that has a chance to either end their season or push it to a game 5.
So over on YouTube, Lucas says never. Scoob on Twitch says maybe a bad case of vertigo. Text line says
diarrhea.
My brother, text line does say, had to be a pretty bad case of diarrhea. Diarrhea or down 3+ runs. 3+ runs win. Ooh. You'd have to say a certain. Yeah. I mean, 3 runs is not that many.
Not in the 4th inning.
Teams score 3 runs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In the 9th inning, I don't know if a 3 is enough.
From the 913, my brother left early. His daughter had to get back to Lawrence as she had a paper due today. I think you got to write the paper either in the stadium or write it before you go, in my opinion. I don't think that's a good enough excuse. Said, I had a friend leaving the 7th inning of the 2014 wild card game. We all know somebody who left the wild card game early. I still can't believe it. From the 816, you'd have to poop your pants in order to do it. The birth of your child.
Someone said, I paid for the ticket. I can leave whatever the hell I want. That's true. That is very true.
I'm not saying you can't leave. I'm just saying, should you?
No, you're locked in. You actually are not allowed to leave the stadium. You are locked in the stadium.
That'd be a wild concept.
Bars on the door.
You can't get out.
You have to stay to the bitter end. Someone said I left the wild card in 2014 in the 8th.
Oh.
I can't believe some of you admit these things. Because, like, oh, man. I mean, if I did it, I think at this point I could not admit it. But of all games to leave early.
That's tough.
I mean, Drew, that game was back and forth.
Yeah.
The Royals were down 1 million runs at one point. It definitely felt like the kind of game they were going to lose. And the Royals hadn't been to the postseason in 30 years, and it felt like it was going to end on a wild card game because Giordano Ventura game. I think people were frustrated. I think that's what happened last night. They were just frustrated with the offense.
I don't know if we should save this for Snitch Line or not. Somebody said I need to snitch on myself. I left the 13-second game after Buffalo scored. It's a tough one.
Walking out to the concourse.
There's no way you didn't even make it out of the stadium. Like
you heard a roar when and you were still like
you're running back
halfway
to your seat
through
at that
the
point, but you missed it.
concourse.
In a way, you almost miss it though. Like if you hear a roar, it's like you might miss it anyways.
Yeah.
Someone says, "Does the Pro Shop sell pants?" Because if then, I'm not sure we're exhausted.
Go get some new pants. Go get some new pants.
Goodness.
Go get some Zubaz pants for the Pro Shop or the overalls.
For me, it's always been. I guess not that you want to make the most of the ticket, but I think Pacers. The Pacers are a great example. I always stay because you never know what you're going to see. You might see something that you never actually are going to see again. You might see somebody hit a full court shot and you might never see that again live. You might see a crazy dunk that is on SportsCenter that you missed live and you could have seen it live. Like you never know. So I traditionally like to stay all the way to the end because you never know what you're going to see. My wife, on the other hand, is please beat the parking. I don't want to be sitting in the car forever.
Beat the parking is always the one. And by all accounts, by the way,
last night sounded like it wasn't great.
My brother, who also left the wild card game early, he said last night the same thing. He's like, what the hell happened with parking? I'm like, I don't know.
It was weird.
I mean,
they
had double as many people leave a Chiefs game, and I mean, it sucks leaving a Chiefs game, but it's like half as many people, so how?
Sounds, again, it's just off of third party from text line. People were saying there maybe wasn't enough people directing traffic, even though, as you said, it's way less people leaving than a Chiefs game. Someone says you could leave. You had to go film a Hallmark movie. That's true. If they call me and they need to reshoot a scene, I'm out. That's true. By the way, November 30th, right? That's when it comes out.
Man, God, it's still gonna wait 6 weeks
my,
for this thing?
my acting debut, boys.
Debut? You planning on getting some more gigs?
I'm getting the IMDb page ready. You
really should get an IMDb.
Page up. I'm sure after my incredible job walking down the street in that movie.
Are you allowed to reveal that?
Sure.
Signed an
At this
NDA,
point, I don't think it matters. Me walking down the street, that role, they're going to look at me and they're going to say, "Man, this guy, future Hollywood actor, he can now do this in a bunch of movies." I mean, flying me to Hollywood just to have me be an extra in their movie.
There was something about your stride where they said that guy's got it.
That guy right there.
That guy's got it.
There are people on there that are just being like, because they left the wild card game early, they'll never leave a game early ever again.
Fair.
I mean,
you kind of learn your lesson, I guess, right?
I do kind of get. Yeah, I mean that's a hard lesson.
Someone says they jumped a curb in their Honda Accord. It was so bad last night. I hope you didn't damage your vehicle.
Why are you jumping? If you got a Honda Accord, you're just in the line, dude. You're not driving a jacked up Jeep Wrangler. You can't.
That's the only time I wish.
A Honda Accord at one point in my life. You can't jump a curb in that.
That is the one time where I do wish I just had a big truck, because I've always been like, I just want to be the guy that can just go over and say screw this and hop the curb.
Grass.
But I've never had a truck.
Through the whole line. It's not too late. You get a truck with your next car.
Maybe so.
You're due for a car soon. You've been driving yours for 10 years. You go see my friends at Volkswagen Lee Summit. They'll take care of you.
Am I due? I mean, it's I do like not having a car payment currently.
I just meant you're not going to be able to drive this car.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
How many at 220?
She's running well. 218.
218.
It's a
wow.
Kudos.
Soon to be 12-year-old car. My goodness. Yeah.
I don't know if Gold comes across as a truck guy.
Drove a truck to training camp a couple times.
Yeah, sure did.
Thanks to our different friends.
Those are your friends now. Those aren't my friends anymore.
my friends down at Max Motors. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I just think that I'm just asking. I just wanted to know. That's my random question.
There you go. Up next, guys, 1 o'clock hour. We'll talk a little fantasy football with Paul Charchian of GuillotineLeagues.com, who to start for Week 6. We'll also do another confidence check. We'll take some of your calls. And yes, a snitch line opens up on a Thursday.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most. Like dinner with loved ones. Letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at bluekc.com.
We hear a lot from our patients after we've successfully treated their erectile dysfunction. But one thing we hear the most is, why didn't I get treated sooner? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you're suffering with ED and all the emotional and relationship problems it causes, don't wait. Call us today. ED is simply a medical condition like any other. And for most men, it's fully treatable, which means you can get your sex life back. And I'm not talking about sex that's just okay, by the way. I'm talking about good sex with the ability to enjoy intimacy without the anxiety that affects so many men who have ED. In fact, you might find you're performing like you haven't in years. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated thousands of men with protocols that are successful in well over 90% of cases. And we have a variety of treatments and treatment combinations so you can get the one that's right for you. So stop waiting and call us. Your first visit includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here now on 96.5 The Fan, telling you guys about my friends over at Window World. Window World is the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs. Pick up the phone right now and call Window World today at 816-799-0820 or check out the website, windowskansascity.com. And remember this, when you call Window World, be sure to mention that you heard this on The Drive with me, and you'll be entered into a drawing for 4 Chiefs tickets during the upcoming season. You know they got some big games, and you're going to want to be there. So call my friends over at Window World. They're offering right now 36 months, same as cash financing, with approved credit. In over 20 years of business, Window World has improved the look and thermal efficiency of over 54,000 homes right here in the Kansas City metro. Check out the website, windowskansascity.com. Pick up the phone today at 816-799-0820 for a free home estimate. Call to be entered into a drawing for 4 Chiefs tickets. Remember, Window World, simply the best for less. And the official window of your Kansas City Chiefs.
Many of us are looking forward to retirement. But when it's time to tap into your savings, do you know how long your money will last? Make a game plan for your retirement income distribution from UMB Private Wealth. They'll create a custom strategy for you to help make your hard-earned retirement savings last. Just go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your personal appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig, an absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
24 monthly bill credits. Eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates rates do vary.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Vern's On Deck show starts at 6. First pitch just after 7 for Game 4 of the ALDS. Right here on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFMC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, back here on Cody and Gold, and coming up in about 12 minutes, we'll get right back into the Royals. We'll take your calls as well and how confident you are that this series gets extended and this series shifts back to the Bronx on Saturday night. But let's talk a little fantasy football. Week 6 already of the NFL slate. Of course, that means it's time to check in with our guy, Paul Charchian of Guillotine Leagues and FantasyLife.com. He's presented by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. I know you're feeling good up in Minnesota on the football side of things with the 5-0 Vikings. We're 5-0 here in Kansas City. So just like we all predicted, I think you said that before the season, Charch, that both the Vikings and Chiefs would be 5-0.
Yeah, and the only teams. Yes, absolutely. Who didn't see it coming? It's so obvious now, right?
We're used to it here, Charch. It's not even, it's like an old hat.
I know.
Like, okay.
I think for you roll into your bye and you're like, our wins haven't been as convincing as we want. We got all these injuries. We don't know. 5-0, it feels okay. We're rolling into our bye. 5-0, baby. Nobody saw this coming. Oh, God, this is the greatest thing ever. Sam Darnold, MVP, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of excitement here. We never get found money. You guys do. Although I think your team is coming up its best win of the season
100%.
Heading into the bye. And the Vikings are coming off their worst win of the season heading into their bye.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. We know the Chiefs just played the Saints, and in that game, Derek Carr suffered an oblique injury. Look, Spencer Rattler's going to be the guy, it sounds like, for a little bit. What does that mean for a Chris Olave owner or a Rashid Shaheed owner?
Yeah, rookie Spencer Rattler gets his first NFL start. He's viewed as a promising long-term raw prospect. You'll remember Rattler was the most coveted high school quarterback coming out of Arizona. Then he went to Oklahoma. He was there as the starter for a while, got benched for Caleb Williams eventually. Then he went to South Carolina, where the supporting cast was awful, including one of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen. When I was trying to evaluate Spencer Rattler coming into the draft, I'm like, I can't find a play where he just gets a clean pocket to throw from. And I thought he played, honestly, gallantly at South Carolina. And he's got an NFL caliber arm. And I think it's, I'm actually kind of excited about Spencer Rattler getting a couple of starts here and seeing what he can do with some potential long completions, maybe to Rashid Shaheed, because he does have a good downfield arm. But does it all come together at the beginning of the, first NFL start? Probably not. Chris Olave, not exactly phased out of this offense, but Rashid Shaheed has more targets, more receiving yards, more touchdowns, deeper passes. So I don't know that I'm starting Chris Olave with Spencer Rattler's first starts, but I think I'm going to keep going with Rashid Shaheed and see if they can connect on some deep balls here against a Tampa team that's really struggled.
Charge, sometimes you're not wrong in fantasy. I'm not wrong in fantasy. We're just a year ahead. You and I were both big Tanks Bigsby guys at the beginning of 2023.
Yes.
Is that chip finally starting to pay off a year and a half later?
Oh, it is. And for everybody who said that we were morons, well, you're right, technically.
Yeah, we were wrong.
And we were just early, right? So, First, Tank Bigsby is a better runner, objectively, than Travis Etienne, and he should be getting more work with the Jaguars. Tank Bigsby runs with power, runs with speed, punishes defenders. When I watch Tank Bigsby run, I get so excited I start involuntarily lactating. I love this kid. His ranks among players, all NFL players that have at least his 34 carries, here's where Tank Bigsby ranks. Some stat porn for you. Yards per carry, Tank Bigsby, number 1. Avoided tackle rate, Tank Bigsby, number 1. Yards after contact, Tank Bigsby, number 1. Rushing yards over expectation per carry, Tank Bigsby, number 1. And here's where it gets interesting, guys. A lot of times it takes a long time for younger players to start getting reps because of the nuances of the position, like pass protection. Entering this week, Travis Etienne had the second worst pass protection grade by Pro Football Focus among all runners. So Etienne is not a lock to stay on the field. Tank Bigsby might be a better pass blocker. He hasn't fumbled this year, which was a big problem for him last year. You know, losing teams with losing coaches, they make more moves more quickly. Tank Bigsby could be on the move to the starting spot among the Jaguars runners.
Look, the theme continues on the year. If you had Rashee Rice, you're screwed. You had other number 1 wide receivers. You had Devontae Adams. You can't play him. Now Nico Collins, the NFL's leading wide receiver, is out. If you had Tank Dell and you've been holding out hope that he was going to turn his season around, is now the moment, right? C.J. Stroud will certainly throw it. Can Tank Dell be a starting player all of a sudden?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we certainly hope that that's going to be the case. Tank Dell, the idea is for Tank Dell to sort of walk into some of those opportunities because Nico Collins, I don't think people realize.
Monster.
The dude was having an unbelievable season. It was, like offensive player of the year level stuff. Nico leaves behind the 4th most targets, the 4th most air yards, and he was 2nd in end zone targets. He ranked 5th in Fantasy Life's wide receiver utilization scoring system. This whole offense was going through Nico Collins. And Dell, on the other side of that, had been languishing from a lack of targets. Well, that's all going to change because we're freeing up 11 targets per game. 11. Dell's going to get, out of the 11, Tank Dell's going to get 3, 4, 5 of those every game. That would turn Tank Dell into a 9 or 10 target guy per game, and it's game on then. I mean, at that point, Tank Dell becomes absolutely startable. Patriots secondary isn't half bad, but just through sheer repetition and volume, I like Tank Dell to continue doing well here.
We're talking to our fantasy football expert, Paul Charchian of Guillotine Leagues and FantasyLife.com. He's presented by Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views. Thursday night football, this one up in Seattle. Niners, Seahawks, and look, as a Christian McCaffrey owner, obviously this is painful for me, but Jordan Mason, I mean, this dude has been incredible.
Yeah, he really has. Alex, San Francisco's running back has been, I think, nothing short of a revelation. On the ground, really no drop-off from Christian McCaffrey. He's averaging almost the exact same yards per carry that Christian McCaffrey was giving you last year, 5.1 yards per carry. But where Mason is very different, and where Christian McCaffrey is like Hall of Fame bound, was his receiving ability. McCaffrey was averaging 5 catches for 40 yards per game, which is a ton. And that was a massive boon to fantasy managers. But Mason, just 1 catch for 11 yards. Tonight, Seattle, this is a run defense that has been hammered in 3 of the past 4 games. Tyrone Tracy just ran for 129 yards. We didn't even know who he was a week ago. Week before that, the Detroit 1-2 punch ran for 128 yards. And 2 weeks before that, New England's backs totaled 178 yards on the ground. So this feels like a big Jordan Mason game coming tonight.
Despite the fact they haven't scored a lot, in standard scoring leagues, Justin Fields has been a top 10 play, Charch. Do you just try to squeeze one more start out of him before they go to Russell Wilson? Do you hope they keep starting him? How do you handle him from a fantasy perspective? Because he's been better than other people at some day. Hell, he's been more statistically fantasy relevant than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are more statistically relevant than Patrick Mahomes. He's right now, I think you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. If we go back to week 8 of last year, through the whatever now it is, like 14 regular season games that have transpired, Patrick Mahomes, his average is quarterback 16. And that's not what we're here for with Patrick Mahomes. No. I mean, there's 12 teams in my league, so why am I automatically starting Patrick Mahomes every week? And even last week when he played a great game. 300 yards, but no touchdowns. We're just not getting the explosive output. And I know we've touched on this before. And to get more directly to your conversation about Justin Fields, I'm actually pretty interested in this. The fantasy community loves Justin Fields because his rushing gives us some explosive fantasy games. That happened 2 weeks ago when he ran in 2 touchdowns. But the problem is Justin Fields is just not a great passer. He's not giving games away, but here, let me give you some stats on Fields. among quarterbacks with 5 starts that have played every game so far this year, Fields ranks 4th from last in passing yards, 5th from last in passing touchdowns, and 8th from last in distance of throws. He's just not getting it done, and it's killing his receivers. George Pickens is wide receiver 54, and he's the highest scoring of his wide receivers. Van Jefferson is I'm still waiting on Van Jefferson's actual final tallies here. I had to divert the processing power of the Higgs-Boson particle accelerator to calculate the infinitely small fantasy impact of Van Jefferson.
I forgot he was on that team. I forgot he was.
I know that's your other starter, Van Jefferson. So I think there is going to be a case here where the other shoe drops and Russell Wilson ends up being the starter because Fields is not helping the rest of this team.
Look, there's been some surprise guys. There always are, right? Like Baker at the top, but for a while it was Geno Smith. He's still near the top, but over the last couple of weeks, not so much. What do you do with Geno Smith, especially because division rivals don't tend to be games I like starting fantasy players in?
Yeah, despite all the success Geno has had in these last 2 years, including winning Comeback Player of the Year a couple of years ago, the Niners have completely obliterated him since starting for Seattle. Since in the 3 games he's played against San Francisco, Geno's averaged 205 yards, and he's thrown 1 touchdown in those 3 games. And as usual, the San Francisco pass defense is pretty darn good. 3 opposing quarterbacks failed to even top 195 yards against San Francisco. Only Sam Darnold has topped 1 passing touchdown against the 49ers. So I've got modest expectations for Geno Smith here. I'd certainly keep starting DK Metcalf. You kind of have to. But, San Francisco's got an unusually physical, large cornerback in Isaac Yiadom. And that dude's like 6'2", 230 pounds. I mean, it's like no cornerback is ever this big. So this might be a sneaky, tricky matchup for DK Metcalf, but I feel like he's the one guy you still have to start every week.
So does that mean, other than Kenneth, not at wide receiver, but Kenneth Walker? I mean, he's been underlooked all season, hasn't he?
Absolutely, underlooked his whole career. I love this guy. He runs so well. He's played in 3 games this year. First game, 103 yards and a touchdown. His second game, he scored 3 touchdowns. And then last week, playing against the Giants, they bottled him up early, and offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb just pivoted him to a receiving role, threw to him 8 times. He had 7 catches for 57 yards. That is the action of a coach, Ryan Grubb, who wants to make sure that his best offensive playmaker gets the ball. And I love that about Kenneth Walker. And among players with his 37 rushing attempts, Kenneth Walker's number 1 in broken tackle rate. He is good. He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry. And the San Francisco run defense is totally middle of the pack. If Seattle is going to win, it's going to be on the legs of Kenneth Walker tonight.
Charge, last one for me, and then we'll let you get out of here. Ladd McConkey, this is selfish reasons. I like to ask you selfish questions.
That's fine.
I got him in a PPR league. I've been using him kind of here and there. What do you see about his fantasy growth through the rest of the season?
Well, okay. For the whole season, I want him to see him become the number 1 that I believe he is. I think should be the number 1 receiver for that team, not Quentin Johnston, who to me feels more like a possession guy, a big body guy you can throw to when you need to at the stripe, more like that. Ladd McConkey's got the full range skill set that I want to see him, and it's still young in his career. I'm not knocking his progress at all. It's actually been, I think, pretty good. The catch for this week on Ladd McConkey and all the Chargers, where's Patrick Surtain going to be? Because he's so good. And he is obliterating anybody in his coverage. And if I'm the Broncos and I'm going to play man, and I'm just going to put Patrick Surtain on one person, it would be Ladd McConkey, and I take my chances with Quentin Johnson dropping all the balls that come his way, which to this point of his career is a pretty safe bet.
Charge, we appreciate it as always. We'll talk some fantasy next week. And, hey, you know what? Enjoy the bye week. Couple of 5-0 teams living their best life.
Not all bad, right? And not only that, but you don't have the distraction of football while your baseball team is making a World Series run.
Yeah, no, just got to beat the Yankees. Got to beat the Yankees and the umpires tonight. A dual task it is.
Everybody hates the Yankees. They're the worst. Just buying. All they do is buy playoff appearances and then come up short. Please take down the Yankees. They suck.
Going to do our best. Thanks, Charge.
Bye, guys.
Paul Charchian.
Got a great point. The Yankees do suck.
Leagues.com, presented by Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views. That's
I
weird.
saw the look on your face when I said and beat the umpires.
Small market fans can unite on that point he made. But yes, when you said the Yankees and the umps, I did give you a dirty look. I was like, okay,
you think I'm giving this show a bad reputation?
No, I mean, you say whatever you want, man. We all have our opinions. We just differ on. I just don't like the blame game on that stuff. I'm not saying it's like there's no truth to anything about the strike zone being off. Of course, it's been off. I just think there's a lot of other issues.
Favored one team in particular.
We're going to get to the snitch line here in just a couple of minutes. Real quick, though, where's everybody's confidence at for tonight's game? Game 4, trying to force a Game 5. 72% of teams who win Game 3, the Yankees, of course, did that, go on to win the series. You might still think the Yankees are winning the series, but do you think the Royals get this thing back to the Bronx? And I keep going back. It sounds like Vern's a little more skeptical than I am when we had him on, but I look at Garrett Cole on Saturday, and I felt like the Royals were seeing him well. I thought the Royals took an aggressive approach right away in that first inning, and that gives me a little bit of confidence that they saw him well. I also think because it's do or die, Urseg might be pitching guys in the 5th and 6th inning. He could be pitching the 6th and 7th inning. I just think they're all in, of course, tonight. You got nothing to lose. This is it, potentially. So I feel good. The Royals have not been getting demolished by the Yankees. They lost the game by a freaking run yesterday.
Well, and Luke Weaver had to come in for a 5-out save yesterday, and it was a bit rocky. So they got to go back to him again. Is he the same guy that he was the game before? And as much as we have been frustrated by the Royals' offense, which I think is fair, and I think some of that is bled back into when they were really struggling on offense towards the end of September, they've scored just as many runs in this series as the Yankees.
That's true.
So it's not like the Yankees' offense is taken off on some torrid pace. The Royals have been more efficient with runners in scoring position. The Yankees have been less efficient. The Yankees have been better at taking walks. That's been the difference between their 2 wins versus the wins on the other side. But this has not been a one-sided series at any particular point. So my confidence of them bringing it back to New York, 70%. And maybe I'm I mean, I can't say 100%. That's not how baseball works. But I'm with you on the Garrett Cole end. I think this has been a really even series. Dead heat, pretty much, if I'm being honest. And if I think it's a dead heat to this point, I think it'll be a dead heat after tonight. And we'll be talking about a 2-2 series heading back to New York.
All the pressure's back on
for
them.
a Game 5, and you and I are going to have to go find a place to watch the game on Saturday.
I would love for that to be the case,
for an incredibly stressful Saturday night. That's just how I feel like it's going to go. But, tonight will tell the truth. My feelings don't matter in this case. It'll be whether or not the Royals get it done.
It would be incredible if you can get it back to New York. And then all of a sudden, the New York pressure is back on big time.
Oh, huge. In their own building?
That's the advantage you would have if you get it back there. I still think, I don't know how many times I've mentioned these numbers today on the show, but I still find it hard to believe we could be talking tomorrow about it going to New York without something changing for Witt, Pasquantino, or Perez.
Agreed.
4 for 37, man. 4 for 37. I'm not saying they got to go 3 for 4 tonight. I'm saying 1 or 2 of those guys has to have the hit. The hit. Bobby Witt Jr. has shown he can do it in the playoffs. I understand right now everybody's frustrated. I'm sure very frustrated with his performance. Offensively, he's been great in the field. But against Baltimore, guess who came up with a game-winning RBI? Bobby Witt Jr. So, this notion that he can't deliver in the postseason, I call BS on that.
He's played in 5 postseason games, and he's delivered the game-winning hit in 2 of them.
But it's going to take him or Salvi or Vinny delivering tonight. I think it will. We can talk how great the pitching can be tonight, but I think it will take one of those guys delivering. We'll talk more about this. Plus, you are going to have your song because yesterday you forgot to do it yesterday. We said you could do it yesterday. You forgot, which might have been a problem. Today will happen right around 1:40, 1:45, something like that. But let's get to a snitch line Thursday. We do that once a month or so. 913-586-7965. We know we have a lot of new listeners, right? We had a meeting about this. Trust me, I know there's a lot of new listeners out there. We appreciate you very, very much here on 96.5 The Fan. Snitch line, it's a chance for you to anonymously vent, get something off your chest, something you maybe have done in your life.
Sibling,
something
yourselves.
you witnessed a coworker do. Something you saw someone do at Kauffman Stadium last night. Whatever it may be, now is the time. I'm going to scroll back because some of you sent some ones in earlier.
Yeah, one person was accusing you of dealing drugs, Drew. Have you ever dealt drugs?
No.
Have you ever done drugs?
No.
Oh. At all? Ever? No drugs?
I mean, if we're talking like prescribed drugs, then
No. I'm talking. Well, I'm talking about like it wasn't.
Drew, yes,
maybe it's prescribed for someone else, but it
Drew,
wasn't.
you took an amoxicillin once. Yes, yes.
I'm just saying.
Have you ever eaten an edible?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done any drug beyond that?
No, to me, an edible. I don't think it does. Does it count as a?
Not
I mean, does it
anymore.
count? I don't.
Legal in the state of Missouri.
I don't think it counts.
Probably depends on the person you ask. From the 913 Snitch line, Cody pushed my 1-year-old daughter down for a chance at a ball last night. You were sitting next to me the whole game. I didn't push anyone down. You left for maybe 10 minutes once to get a drink and like some peanuts. I did not push anybody down in that amount of time. How often were you sitting next to me in the game? Confirm the story. Say that I didn't do that.
I was not there for those. I do not recall.
Those 10 minutes?
I do not recall.
You watched me for 10 minutes?
I don't recall.
We sat next to each other for a
Technically, there was a
3-hour
window,
baseball
I guess.
game.
Someone says, Cody, another one for you, Cody. Cody Tap's Venmo paid my OnlyFans account for feet pictures.
It's just not true. Again,
You're into that kind of thing? Hey,
not
man,
true.
we don't, what do we say on the show? What's our philosophy?
We do not kink shame on the show.
We do not.
Which is why, if it's your thing, go for it. It doesn't happen to be my thing, but if it's your thing, that's fine.
Here's one. This one is for me. They said Gold sources tell me he was offering tickets yesterday for a more expensive price than the actual seats were on StubHub in the same section, same row. Not true.
Wow.
Not true.
Listeners?
Not
You're
true.
trying to rip off
No.
listeners of this station?
Oh my god.
Not true.
That's wrong.
Not true. Others can attest, and also someone ended up buying the tickets. No, the StubHub, I had I had a pair of ticket listed on StubHub in the outfield. They were listed for a certain price. I said with fees, they were $3.90, that's what they were. I ended up saying, hey, let's go off StubHub. I will sell to you direct, no fees, save us both money. I ended up selling them, by the way. Thank you very much.
What, am I supposed to like pat you on the back for getting your ticket sold?
No, but I was responding to the accusation.
You ripped someone off, is what he just said.
No.
You successfully ripped someone off by selling it for more than you were asking.
That's not possible. How would I sell it for more than I'm asking? I literally asked for the dollar amount. That's what I got.
Here's the question. Did you
Yeah.
make more money not selling them on the secondary side? Should you
What
have
do you mean?
given them an even bigger haircut? Did you make more money by putting
Well, that's up for interpretation.
Wow.
No, you're saying did I sell them for more than face value?
No,
yeah,
no,
that's
not more
the
than
name.
face. I meant like more than you would have gotten had you sold them on the secondary.
Oh, no, that's not true.
website.
No. That part's not true.
Sounded like you confirmed that for just a second.
Someone said from the 620, Cody's actually a Bengals fan. Welcome to the club, Cody.
No, I'm not
chance.
a Bengals
No
fan.
chance.
There is that one clip of me saying I hope the Bengals win or something, but I don't remember where that clip is.
I don't know where it is either. I should have clipped it. Shouldn't I have?
From the 816, my buddy lied to his wife saying that he had to go to work late and do overtime, and he just went to the baseball game instead.
Ooh.
Man, risky.
Well, I mean-
Jumbotrons, television screens. You can't drink and pretend like you worked overtime. All very risky behavior. Very risky behavior.
Yeah, someone else said they know Drew uses the Facebook Marketplace. That's where Drew sold his couch. Got scammed, unfortunately. Someone says Marketplace. Drew is selling bottled tears to make money. Collected, I'm assuming, by thinking about Cincinnati's playoff chances.
So in the same way that you guys are collecting Super Bowl confetti, I'm collecting
That's right.
tears.
You have your tears. We got our Super Bowl confetti.
For the Cody Gold Garage Show, we sold
Drew's
one jar full of
We
Drew's
actually
tears.
should sell a jar of Drew's Bengals tears.
Just put an onion under your eyes for.
Yeah, Drew's Bengals tears.
Or maybe you're a big crier. I don't know. Do you cry a lot, Drew?
No.
Everyone's like, again, no judgment on that. I'm just, some people cry more than others. When's the last time you had a good cry, Alex?
A good cry.
I had it probably 3 months ago.
Oh, that's a very specific time.
Dog passed away.
Oh, yeah.
That was a very
That'll get you right in the gut.
That one was tough, really
That'll
tough.
get you right in the gut.
Yeah, I dread that day. I definitely dread that day with the dog. No, I honestly couldn't tell you the last. Obviously, I have. There's not one instance that comes to mind here recently. Probably, honestly, watching a movie or something. Like, there's probably some movie or TV show. I'm trying to think. That'd probably be the last time.
From the 913, I swapped out an autographed Mahomes football in my boss's office for a non-autographed one. It's been over 6 months. He hasn't noticed. I'm thinking I'm in the clear. He doesn't have any cameras in his office, right?
You forged a Bobby Witt autograph?
I did not forge a Bobby. That's a lie again. What do they think I accomplished in the 10 minutes you were gone?
And you sold
Someone
it for
said I
50
punched their
bucks?
grandma in the stomach. I sold a Bobby Witt Jr. bit. None of those things are true. I can't forge Bobby's signature. It's too messy.
Someone said, "How much for a bottle of those tears?" I don't know. I feel like that's got to be like a $50 item.
Yeah, I agree. I got to raise money for the museum.
One person was asking about the Bobby Witt Jr. signed shoes from our auction. I'm just saying.
Got a good deal on those.
I'm just saying that those are those for charity, too. I'm just saying that pair of shoes that are his shoes signed by him would cost a few more bucks than they did a year ago. I think those are...
Now, if they were game worn, they might be worth.
Those are a prized possession, much like the Mahomes helmet. Those are not going anywhere. Those are never being sold again.
Somebody said from the 913, I once lied about being sick so I can have time to myself. Good for you.
Huh?
Take a personal day, you know?
Okay. That's a Snitch line Thursday. You're on Cody and Gold. Thank you. 913-586-7965. Up next, we will get to what's trending and some of our final thoughts on how things are going down at Kauffman Stadium tonight. Don't forget, we have our T-shirt drop coming up 2 o'clock today. You're at 7,000 Squib Rub. Your chance to get some of those playoff theme shirts. And yes, Cody's going to sing a free Vinnie Pasquantino song live. Next.
Cody and Gold.
I didn't sleep well. I was drunk.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5, The Fan.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is proud to offer an exclusive and extensive collection of some incredibly rare bourbons, whiskey, and tequilas. Plus, check out our barrel selections that are handcrafted by our team and bottled just for you. Supply is limited. Cheers!
Kansas City, is Sean Barber. You know there's nothing easier than to enjoy watching the Chiefs with some wings and an ice-cold Bud Light. And Buffalo Wild Wings is serving up both for every game, all season long. Join me at Buffalo Wild Wings, located off I-70 in Little Blue Parkway in Independence, Friday, October 11th. I'll be there from 6 to 8 p.m. celebrating the back-to-back Super Bowl champ while eating some wings and drinking $5 Bud Lights. Nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
For more, go to 965thefan.com. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
Kansas football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws an awesome block so his teammate can score instead. If this happens, MGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Everyone knows the most exciting part of football is the score. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and you don't have to keep living with all of that joint pain. Real lasting relief is possible with help from QC Kinetics. People here are getting their lives back, getting their mobility back, thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies that can revitalize your joints. And I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine, using your own body's healing properties, highly concentrated and carefully placed in your achy joint. Back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain. These are cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a quick in-office procedure that can get you moving again. You owe it to yourself to learn more. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
When it comes to financial goals, everyone has that one thing you want to accomplish. Raise your credit score, give your kitchen a well-deserved glow-up, or eliminate credit card debt. At Main Street Credit Union, your main thing, well, that's our thing. It's what we're passionate about, helping you achieve your main thing. So bring us your wants, your needs, and your goals. We'll provide you with the tools to achieve them. Go to mainstreetcu.org for more information.
It takes a lot to prepare for game day as a dedicated fan, and preparing the perfect tailgate meal might be most important of all. That's why Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise is the MVP. Hellmann's Mayonnaise is the secret to bring out the rich and creamy taste to all your game day dishes, from buffalo chicken dip to your favorite sub sandwich and everything in between. So give it a try, and mayo game day be delicious with Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. Shop at your local Walmart, Kroger, or grocery store, and add some extra deliciousness to your game day dishes this football season.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
In business, success is never by chance. You know that better than anyone. So why settle for a marketing agency that gambles with your money? At Scale Marketing, we've been in your shoes. Our founders successfully owned and operated businesses long before becoming marketers. They understand the business of, well, business. We specialize in performance marketing for mid-sized B2C companies with teams of over 100 people, from traditional and digital marketing to media buying, data science, and creative production. Scale Marketing manages it all. Our tailored strategies drive measurable growth, turning your challenges into opportunities. Imagine your company leading the market, not just participating in it. That's what we do at Scale Marketing. Don't let your business growth plateau or underperform. Scale Marketing will pinpoint exactly what you need to focus on, ensuring your success isn't left to chance. Take your business to the next level with Scale Marketing. Visit scalemarketing.com today. That's scalemarketing.com.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sponsored by Robert Half.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. What's trending?
What's Trending is presented by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Of course, we start with the Royals. Game 4 tonight out at Kauffman Stadium. Michael Wacha against Garrett Cole. First pitch, 7:08, right here on your home for the Royals, 96.5 The Fan. Vern's On Deck show is at 6. The Drive, C-Dot and Rob, broadcasting outside Gate D, beginning at 2 o'clock. They are set up out there, good to go today. Stop by, say hello to them. They'll be broadcasting up until 6.
We'll have the shirts for free at 2 o'clock.
Here.
The playoff-themed T-shirts right here at 7,000 Squib Road. First 100 people who come and snag them will get a chance at them. Don't rush. We have, 100 of them or so.
Cody has offered to roll them up and throw them right into your car window.
Cody Gold T-shirt cannon. Coming to a future near you.
Yeah,
Make sure you stay out there. See Carrington outside of Gate D. Say what's up to us if you see us out there in the right field area as well. Next up on What's Trending, speaking of baseball, there's other baseball in action. The Tigers will have a chance to advance against the Guardians today, coming up in about 4 hours from now. They were able to win the game last night. We'll have a chance to clinch it. The Dodgers forced a Game 5 last night in beating the Padres 8-0. That game was incredibly lopsided. And the Mets advanced to the LCS, the NLCS, at least on that end, after their win. So they're the first team to secure their spot. Dodgers force a Game 5. Obviously, we're hoping the Royals force a Game 5 tonight.
We'll stick with the baseball theme. Some news up in Minnesota. We know the Twins, of course, did not make the postseason this year. And now ownership has announced the Twins are for sale. This after denying that about a year ago that they were going to pursue selling the team. The Pohlad family has owned the franchise since 1984. They bought it for $44 million back then.
That's a pretty
it's
good
now worth $1.5 billion, they believe, is the valuation. They put out a long statement, obviously, talking about considering this. But during their ownership, Twins won the World Series in 87 and 91, plus 10 postseason appearances. But yes, they are about to cash in.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't think I don't think the team's leaving Minneapolis. I
think they're too well liked there.
It's also
they got a pretty nice stadium.
15 years left on the lease. A beautiful ballpark up there in Minnesota.
Yeah, also a pretty large metropolitan area. I mean, Minnesota's always supported baseball. It would make a lot of sense to move. Where would they move?
Wow,
anyway?
Where everybody throws out. Nashville.
Yeah.
I don't think they're moving either. Nashville will get a team eventually.
Do good there, but if you're doing it, just move the Rays. Their whole stadium just got ripped apart.
We'll see. We'll see what celebrity is part of a giant ownership group that buys the Twins.
Jay-Z is my guess. Next up on What's Trending, Thursday night football tonight. 49ers at Seahawks will take place. Geno Smith has really struggled against San Francisco. Brock Purdy's been playing some surprisingly good football. I'll say this, not surprisingly good. Brock Purdy has gotten better. Like, he got better from the beginning of his rookie year to the end of his rookie year, and he's been better this year than he was last year, and I think that there's been consistent improvement there. They've just been so dinged up. The reason why that might be interesting to you tonight, although you'll be watching the Royals game instead, is the 49ers are the Chiefs' next opponent.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Very true.
They'll get 10 days. So the Chiefs get a bye week, but the 49ers also get 10 days. So they're not going to get the normal advantage of time off that you would typically expect.
Lastly, on What's Trending, we're going to be out in Las Vegas in less than 2 weeks. We'll be out there when the Chiefs are taking on the Raiders, by the way. Circa Las Vegas will be broadcasting live Thursday, Friday, poolside, stadium swim, 143-foot sportsbook, 6 pools. Friday night, we're hosting a big party out there. Looking forward to it. We'll have some cocktails. We'll have a chance to win some game day tickets, a day bed. In order to join us at the party, make sure you RSVP. Send in a text, 913-586-7965. We'll send you a link to RSVP if you're going to be out in Vegas, if you think you're there, if you know a Chiefs fan that's going to be in Vegas already, let us know. We'll send them a link as well. That RSVP gets you the free cocktail and enter to win all that. And then we're just going to have a good time in Vegas. I'm looking forward to that. Seriously, it's the best place. If you're going out to Vegas anytime,
fantastic.
You should check it out. We cannot wait to once again be out in Vegas. I was looking at the weather. Looks like 85 degrees when we're out there.
Not bad. That's pretty good for poolside.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, as he mentioned, RSVP for that party. Make sure you give yourself a chance to enter a chance for that free drink, those tickets to game day, or, of course, that day bed out there at Circus Swim.
You're going to chill in the day bed, the cabana when we're out there, just chill cabana, poolside.
Maybe. We put our stuff on one of those day beds when we were up there a couple of
Jump
weeks ago.
in the pool mid-show.
Maybe.
Without the headset on, don't worry.
Yeah, I won't. I'm not going to try to fry either the equipment or myself.
That would be a good
in
thing
that scenario.
for you not to do.
Smart choice. But do I plan on being in a pool at some point in Las Vegas? Yes, I do.
Cold beverages during the show, poolside. Sounds like
11 o'clock, the fan club.
It is early. I was just saying,
time.
it is 8 a.m. to noon when we're out there, local time. That is very true.
I don't think we can make it a party the whole
Screwdriver.
time.
Screwdriver, 9 a.m.
That's your.
That's the
That's
Vegas.
your breakfast
That's
drink
the
of
Vegas.
choice.
It's the only time I ever drink that is in Vegas. Otherwise, I don't ever order a screwdriver.
You just wait for
It's
morning time in
it is
Vegas.
strictly
and
a
you're like,
Vegas thing.
The first drink after a long night. Huh?
Yeah.
It's like getting juice, so it's practically healthy.
It's just orange juice. That's it. That's all.
It's not just orange juice, but yeah, fair point.
I was told it's just orange juice.
Oh, I think they've been lying to you.
Oh.
Well, you'll figure that out for yourself, you know?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
We have
Are
two
you ready
choices.
to sing?
Yeah. You know
you
what?
want to sing now, or you?
No, let's do it now. As you know, I forgot. You offered me a chance to play a song yesterday. You said I could choose any song of my choice, any Royal song of my choice, and I blew it. I forgot about it. I got too excited about the game coming up at Kaufman that night, and I didn't think about it, and then the Royals lost. And so I put on the jersey that Quick Trip just sent me because I thought, you know what? This is good luck. They sent this to me in the mail. I didn't wear it yesterday because it got sent to me after the show. The jersey's on. It is Vinnie Pasquantino's birthday. And the last time we did Pasquantino live on this show for 3 consecutive days, it was when Vinnie had started this season slow, and he needed a little pick-me-up. And as you remember, Vinnie Pasquantino immediately had a 4-hit day and a hell of a weekend after this happened. And because it's his birthday, and Vinnie is hitless in this series, I figured if I was going to do a song live today, why wouldn't I do Pasquantino?
That's fair. I didn't know, someone else's birthday today. Josh Vernier, Garrett Hampson. You could. Where's the Garrett Hampson song? Huh?
I don't.
Where's
first, I don't have a Garrett Hampson song. But if you know what, if he gets the game-winning RBI,
You have a song tomorrow? If he saves the season, if Garrett Hampson RBI double, bottom of the 7th inning, puts the Royals up 4-3.
Deal.
Garrett Hampson song tomorrow.
Garrett Hampson will get a belated birthday song.
Good.
Vern, I'm sorry. He's just going to have to enjoy my music. He won't be able. I don't have a song for him right now.
All right, well, I'm going to turn my mic off. I'm going to let you sing, and I hope this works. I really do.
It's been a while since I sung this one live. I got to remember remember the words. Clear the throat. Get a call up in my direction. Thankful for that bat, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, Italian breakfast you always slay. Got me dreaming of wins all day. Make me want to savor every moment slowly, slowly. You hit a baseball hard, love how you pour it on. Need Vinny on the roster, just put him on. They let me whisper in your ear the only words I want to hear. Don't take it so he can play long. Remember, this is the highlight part. This is when Vinny, Vinny, it's a 3-run home run in the ALDS. I almost jumped ahead of series. When you're excited and he gets a hit and everybody's feeling good, that's what's going to happen tonight. Don't you worry about it. Pasquantino, I want it now. It's time for Pasquantino. What else can he do? He's the great Balbino. It's a jackpot at the casino. Pasquantino, think of the kids, all the little niños. It's like a shot of cappuccino. Give us what we want. It's Pasquantino. Quiero ver la tu bat, quiero ser tu bat boy. Que las enseñas a tu ritmo. Tu ubicación favorita. Déjame ver muchos honrones hasta provocar mis gritos. Tu evidone tu nombre. Pasquantino, I want it now. It's time for Pasquantino. What else can he do? He's the great Balbino. It's a jackpot at the casino. Pasquantino, think of the kids, all the little niños. It's like a shot of cappuccino. Give us what we want. It's Pasquantino. Pasquantino. That's it. I didn't do as good a job, but I still feel pretty good about it. The Spanish part, so hard to sing in Spanish.
What made you think you needed to do it live?
Oh, I don't know. Just felt right.
You had a studio recorded version. Why did you think you needed to do it live?
Because the Royals are going to have to play live, and I feel good about it, you know? Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it's not perfect.
Do you want to read the text line? Are you sure? Maybe actually, you know what? Don't look at the text line. Don't look at the text line.
You know, text line.
Keep it close.
When he has 3 hits tonight, then you'll feel bad about all the mean things you're saying about me.
Don't look at the text line.
I won't look at the text line. It's fine.
Don't look.
My first 2 live versions of Pasquantino were better than that one. Happy to admit. Pasquantino's going to come through tonight either way.
You don't look. I'll pick a few out, though. 913-586-7. Well, for you. I don't think you. I don't think
okay.
you. I said, don't look for you.
Gotcha.
Someone says, I told you to play this yesterday. You failed to do so. You are the reason they lost, Cody. Someone else says, oh, God, why? Someone says, why aren't you dancing, Gold? Someone else says, that's so awful. Please stop. I love Gold's reaction. Someone else says, Cody's the best.
Hey!
You get so into it with your entire face.
You know what? I'm a visual. If you missed it, we do video stream this show. So if you want to go back and watch it on video, Twitter, Twitch.
Someone says this is better than the dude that won America's Got Talent.
Wow, thanks, man. There's a lot of other negative ones I imagine in between there, but I'll take the mix of compliments and non-compliments.
It's definitely mixed.
Pasquantino is going to have a game tonight. Let's just face reality.
Well, look, Bobby, Vinnie, South, one of them. Honestly, they don't all have to hit. One of them is going to have the big hit of the night. I just don't believe it. And that's not to say that Garrett Hampson or Tommy Pham or Michael Massey's been great this postseason, that those guys don't really deliver. Well. And you could certainly use that. I just think we've seen enough in this series that when you're on the brink of elimination, it's pretty basic stuff, right? Your stars, your best players have to perform, and they have to step up. That goes for Michael Wacha. That goes for Lucas Erceg as well. But it's the offense. We can bitch and moan about walks due to umpires, or you can take a different approach at the plate. Or you can, you know what I mean? Like you can adjust, or you can keep complaining. And I say complain. They're not complaining. Fans are. The Royals aren't complaining. Yeah. This to me comes down to a guy that's going to finish second in MVP, a guy that almost had 100 RBI, a guy that's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. One of them has to step up and put the team on their back. And I know they'll approach it. They don't approach it like, oh my gosh, I have to put all this pressure on me. I'm just saying, I find it hard to believe they win without one of those guys having a huge hit tonight. Bobby doesn't have to all of a sudden go 4 for 4. Okay.
But he's got to come with a big hit.
1 for 4, but maybe it's the 8th inning and there's 2 men on with nobody out, and he hits a double, and all of a sudden they take the lead. It's got to be something.
And especially because they're all in order together, right? Last night is close. And I know you're like, this is not like they almost got it. I just meant it was close. Bobby got on base. Salvi got a hit. Yeah. They had first and third. So if the guy behind them had come through with the hit, they do look like they were contributors to what was a come-from-behind win, or helping them get the win, or tying that game up late, or any of those things. And Vinny damn near got a hit too. And so maybe that glimmer into the there's the old. Because here's the thing. The one thing all three of those guys did better than anybody, whether they were always getting on base, or listening, now Bobby's numbers are nuts across the board. They were good at getting runs home. You know what I need? I need Vinny to come up with a guy on third. I need Vinny to come up with a guy on second. He's a run producer. He's been coming up far too often with the bases empty. And so give him a chance to hit a run in. Give any of those guys a chance. And I personally have a hard time thinking that Vinny's going to go 6 consecutive games without performing for this team. And Salvi's only big hit is the now big hit, because it was a home run that tied it up against Rodon. That's one of his 2 hits. I think eventually they're going to find a way to produce for this team. That's why I told you I think this series is going 5. I think tomorrow we'll have a different conversation. If it does, tomorrow the conversation is, and that's the thing. I don't want to have the conversation about how this is a winning season no matter what, because I'm not ready to let the season go yet. We can have that conversation when and if the Royals eventually are knocked out of this postseason, but no matter what, this season is a win. And so, but to make sure that it continues to go on, Bobby, Vinny, and Salvi, they're big.
Sure. 40,000 plus again tonight at Kauffman. I know people are going to bring it. Let us know if you're going to be out there tailgating as well. Reminder, Carrington is broadcasting live outside of Gate D. But for the game, look, prediction-wise, I actually think a little higher scoring. 5-3, Royals win, force this thing to the Bronx. I do believe they'll get some runs on the board tonight. 5-3, Royals win, get this thing to a Game 5, put all the pressure back on the Yankees. Royals could be a loose bunch flying back out to the East Coast. I think they get it done tonight, and then we'll see what happens on Saturday. Reminder, at 2 o'clock as well, we will be handing out shirts here at 96.5 The Fan. We've got 100 shirts thanks to our friends over at DM Injury Law. Some playoff-themed shirts, right? We didn't come this far just to come this far. Pretty fitting, considering the Royals are trying to avoid elimination this evening. 1 shirt per person in the car, maximum of 2.
I felt like everybody who wasn't wearing a Royals jersey was wearing the boys are playing some ball or we didn't come this far to come this far t-shirt yesterday. So everybody's wearing the Bobby Witt Jr. themes of things, which I get. Yeah. But if you want the t-shirt before you head out to the K tonight, this is the spot to do it. But yeah, just go get a win tonight. Come on. Just want to get the crowd into it early. Hit like a 3-run bomb in the first and get the whole crowd into it.
Jump on Garrett Cole right away. They saw the ball well on Saturday against him. They were aggressive. We all remember that. Well, I think it was only 4 or 5 pitches in the first because they were line outs, good contact.
Yeah.
Get after it tonight. Hope to see you guys at a Kauffman Stadium. Reminder, Vern's on Deck show, 6 o'clock here on 96.5 The Fan. Up next, though, we do hand things off to C-Dot. He is broadcasting from the K, Gate D, as the Royals take on the Yankees tonight.
She serves them whiskey and wine. They say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
I love this business, really. I love seeing the look on a guy's face the first time he sees the ring we created. The custom ring that's going to say to her what he can't say with words. The ring she'll show off to her family and friends and wear for the rest of her life. Yeah, I love it. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and I see a lot of it. In fact, we're having our best year ever. I love that, too. More people are trusting House of Diamonds than ever before. They come for our one-of-a-kind custom jewelry, to be sure, but they also come for a better diamond at a better price because we only carry the top 5% in each diamond grade, priced direct